Checking broadcast server for audio. Okay, minor issue. Let me see if I can fix that. SDLD returning channel 4. Checking broadcast server. Here we have audio. I don't think I'm going to be able to fix the broadcast server unless I end the stream and reduce the quality. I don't think I'm going to be able to fix the broadcast server unless I end the stream. Audio. I could just let it run. I don't know why the audio sounds like that either. It's like it's taking or something. No, we got two audios going anyways, so we'll just run with it for today. And then we'll hope the Clips computer is working. So anyways, hello everybody. This is Chula Vista Live Data, San Diego Live Data. We're coming to you live from Balboa Park Activity Center. We are out here today for the Worldwide Freedom Rally, and we're just waiting for some people to show up. Encourage you guys, if you guys come down here, instead of our normal parking spot across the street, we are right across the street to the east. And so there's the World Beat Center. And so if you look right across from there, you'll see us on this side. The main area for today is going to be all on this side. We had San Diego Police Department show up over there. I'm sure they're just monitoring all the protests today. And just give us a couple minutes here and we'll have Audra doing an opening. I'm just checking streams and making sure everything's rolling. So, like I said, if you guys are in the Balboa Park area and you're parked at the regular parking spot, just come across the street to the east and we're right in this like shaded area. It's called the Balboa Park Activity Center. So, right there. And then, like I said, I can try to restart the stream and get those computers on, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to let it run. It just doesn't seem like too big of an issue since I have all the regular streams running. And then I just want to check that we have a Rumble going. Rumble.com. We should be all set up here shortly though, so just give me another second here. We're waiting for a couple more people too, so. This one. So this one is just really zoomed in because the canvas is wrong. So I just wonder if maybe I want to try that. All these are on. Yeah, so we're going to switch. We're going to cut it for a second, and then we're going to come back. I don't know how I'm feeling about this microphone, but we're just going to run with it. I don't know how I'm feeling about this microphone, but we're just going to run with it. This one. This one. And we got to switch this back to live. Next. Switch to live. Alright. There we go. Alright, screen's fixed.
I mean right instead of left. Okay.
Do you want to do an opener real quick?
Yes, sir.
I was trying to give them directions to the stream, but one of the stream was messed up. So I was like, well, here, I'll try to tell you guys. But your audience should be on now. Yeah, it doesn't say his name, and it's just right.
Narcissistic penile pedophile. It's running our country, scares me to death.
Aren't they all? Like every single last one of them.
And then I hear that Vance's in Rome and comes turns up God speaking to him and he didn't want. There's not, I can't think of anyone in the Republican Party that's worth a cent.
All my sons run, but it's all of them.
The two wings of the same bird. I'm
not gonna cry, but I mean, it's still like funny to
divide people. Intentional. They're all bad. They're all bad. You think he's going to keep this war going so he can stay in office forever?
He's getting more and more of his friends that are his age, understanding what's
I get it from the video when she was walking by. Stopped right in her eyes turned. She really looked evil.
Yeah.
She just looked to the right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, how she should look, right?
Mm-hmm.
You read all that, right?
I do.
How about the family?
Yeah.
For us, it was 9/11 and watching that, and so for their generation,
Did you read
I'm sure it's that plus more.
Did you?
I'm not sure.
Paloma Color Tacoma.
Right. Okay.
Ready?
Wait, but I would go not right here because I guess I don't know if they want to be on there or not. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, we can do that. Is it the audio one? Okay. Hey guys, happy Sabbath. I'm Audrey Morgan. I had a storm. We are here at Balboa Park Activity Center, and Tent City is actually just down Industrial Parkway right here. And there is a security gate. You can also kind of go around if you go up Park and do the next turn just on the other side here. There's a road, and that goes to the other entrance, which there is security. It's a very secure location. This is run by Dreams for Change and also Downtown Partnership. They've been contracting with the city since 2023 to open up Tent City. O-Lot, and then B-Lot is actually on the other side of the hospital just down the hill. And in fact, the interesting thing is when I first, you can see this on the freeway and whatnot, and let me kind of go back. We're here for a worldwide rally as well. I'm kind of all of it. I have all these things I want to say and I don't want to forget. There's, different events happening across the world right now. This is something I've been doing, for many years. And usually, the last one we did was for Malika and Zaya Robinson right over at President's Way Lawn, which is just diagonal from us here, and Balboa Park is on the other side, of Park Avenue as well. And, today there's also some No Kings, protests, and rallies. There's one downtown right now. In fact, the traffic is in gridlock. It's pretty crazy, and then there'll be other ones happening throughout the day. But I thought it was important to bring light to what's going on at Tent City and with the homeless and this homeless and human industrial complex that's taking place. People are making quite a lot of money off of the backs of people suffering, all under the guise of helping and providing some kind of service. We have a huge problem with NGOs in our nation, and I would say the world for that matter. And the government contracts with them, and it's their kind of way of taking their responsibility out of stuff, I feel like, and then they can just kind of say, well, there's no accountability because they're just giving money to these people. The city of San Diego actually is in there as well. But they're doing some pretty nefarious things. 24 people at Tent City have died. There's been another death that was from someone who lived at Tent City, but it was just outside of Tent City. So, but there's been many sexual assaults. Teresa Smith is the CEO of Dreams for Change. She's supposedly a doctor, and she's been working very hard with her staff to hide the deaths, the sexual assaults, the abuse. They don't even have food that's edible. It gets brought here all the time. In fact, there's a San Diego Rescue Mission. It has been taking people in and out of there today to do some kind of Easter supper or lunch or meal, and then they can also get haircuts and go and get showers and different things like that. So there's been these vans that have love on them, and that they've been coming in and out of here today. And but it's interesting. I came here for the point in time count on January 27th, and they wound up kicking me out right away. They spotted me from the get-go, and I actually couldn't go in this gate. I had to go around to the other side. And when I got down there, because there's different tiers, there's 4 tiers, and Dreams for Change has 2, and Downtown Partnership has 2, and they've literally segregated them off. They don't want people going from tier to tier. They don't want participants to talk to each other, to talk to other participants who are no longer there that have been evicted and different things. It was really great to see on just a couple of weeks ago at the city council meeting. 2 men came from B-Lot, which is not this one. This one's O-Lot, and B-Lot's down the way, on the other side of the hospital, like I was saying. And, they had gotten eviction, but were expressing their concerns about the things that had been taking place. This man had been there since it was open, and was still trying to get out of there. It's like, and Teresa Smith, I remember when I had met her at one of her events, it was like a 30th anniversary or something, or some kind of celebration for Dreams for Change, because they've been doing, they do safe sleeping, like parking sites, and I wouldn't call any of it safe. But they also do tax, fraud is what they're doing. They sign people up. They work with the FTD, and United Way, and they wind up signing people up because they get kickbacks to do it. So that's also another scam to get people into services and, claim that you're going to be able to get them a couple of $1,000 in a return when that doesn't really happen. They're the ones that kind of pocket that money, and then they give them a couple $100. So there's a lot of scams wrapped up into that. But they wound up seeing me right away, the city or someone from Downtown Partnership, because I had to go into Tent City to go do the count. Last year they had us kind of like outside of the tents and would have the participants come, and this time they were like right in the mix, which I thought was really interesting. And so as soon as I got there, the security came to me and told me I had to leave, that I wasn't allowed to be there, which I thought, I wasn't surprised, but, I wound up, and he was telling me that it was the city, that it was Jody. Jody Walters is one of the directors for Teresa Smith. And they all know who I am. They follow the reporting that I've been doing on this. And it's funny because they think that kicking me out would actually stop me from being able to get any kind of information when, in fact, I've already got it. I already have the connections I need. I just wanted to go and count the homeless again, and they kept me from doing that, which I don't think is very fair, because I've not done anything nefarious to them. I've just been bringing the light to the people and to the city council who should be, this is Stephen Whitburn's district. He should care about this, but he's friends with Teresa Smith, so there's some, he's not going to hold her accountable. That's why she got the contract. Somebody else had come in and was going to actually be providing services, getting people out. I mean, they could do tiny homes here and really just, benefit the people that are here because they don't want to live like this. They want to get out of there. But there's fire hazards. I mean, there's these 2 gates, and outside of that, there's this metal fence that has spikes. So it's like if they wanted to get out, I mean, they wouldn't even be able to. They'd have to run up the hill to one of these exits. And there's no fire extinguishers that are supposed to be sitting in these red fire-like things where it should be easily accessible, and it's not. And so it's really sad to see what's going on, and I really wanted to bring light to this. Like I said, you can see it from the freeway, and so I knew it was here, but when we were covering the invasion on the border, I got a tip from somebody that they were housing illegals here. And so Jay Data and he's here too, and San Diego Live Data, whatever. I'm not doing very good today. I'm just all over the place. It's cool. But we came and we actually were going through the Navy hospital at first. I was like, this is where it's taking me. I don't understand how do you get there because it's like, there's not really a way. Like, I mean, they do that intentionally so. And so we wound up coming around and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so interesting. And so if you actually, City High School is right just across this parking lot over here. There's a bridge that the kids take and they park in this parking lot. In fact, they just started trying to make all this parking paid, or they did, which is ridiculous. And they're just racketeering with everything. It's like there's so many things you could talk about. It's just my mind. But anyway, so right over in that area, there's like a fence that you can actually like just go into the back of Tent City and kind of come around. And there's a lot of people that stay in the wooded area right there, just right by the freeway. And so that's kind of where I started seeing the way in. And then, we'd actually come up to this, security and they get really, they don't like when you're there. Like they're just like, you can't be here. And in fact, when I had come back, when they kicked me out, I came up to this side and the lady's like, I'm sorry, you can't go out this way. And the gate was like barely open, but she's like, I'm not allowed to. I'm like, it's like I'm right here. You're going to make me go all the way down and come around to that other gate. Like, they kicked me out. Let me just get the heck out of here. And so they just do a lot of weird things. There's been reports that there's security guards, basically human trafficking, getting women to go back to his home, to potentially give her drugs and alcohol and have sex with her also with his friends. And then they'll get perks if they're here and just kind of like, be extra protected. So, what?
No, around the same time.
Oh yeah, ABC has been covering this too, which has been so great. Austin, from there, he's been, I'll give him information that I'm also getting, and so that's actually one of the Hope Vans that we just missed, but we'll catch one on the way out. And so he's also been covering the sexual assault and the deaths that have been happening, which is great because I think it's really important to, just show like should our money be going to cover that kind of stuff up? In fact, when I was in there doing the point in time count and I had to leave, I was like, I just got so frustrated at the end because I was alone and I didn't know how much I wanted to push the envelope. But so I was just right when we're walking through there, I said, people shouldn't be dying here. I said, 24 people have died here. And Jody was like, no, they haven't. And I said, people are being raped. And she's like, no, they're not. And it's like, oh my gosh, yes, they are. Like, why are you trying to cover up? I have a text message from you to the group chat from the employees that says he's talking about a rape, a man who raped him with a picture and all of this. And so it's like, I don't know why they're so adamant about that. You would think that if they did care about these people, that they would want to protect them and would want to make sure that this kind of stuff isn't taking place. But when you don't care and you're, here for the racket, then you're just going to do what needs to be done and make sure no one talks about it. So like if someone dies, they basically try and brush it under the rug. They don't want people taking pictures of like even a memorial or to talk about it. And that's traumatizing for the people that experience the loss of a friend of theirs. You know what I mean? And when they're encouraged not to report a rape, that's very egregious because that's a big problem that we have in our nation. And I think in the world, it's like, there's so many victims that don't even report because of things like that. It's like you're scared enough to do it. And then if you do, you know, you feel like you're going to be retaliated against. Like if they do report it, they'll be kicked out. So it's like, what do? Do you need to have a place to stay and be off the streets so you don't go get raped again? So is it better for you to just shut up and stay here? You know, so it's as a victim, it's just sad because it's a very difficult thing to do. I mean, especially I was a child when I did it, but I mean, even as an adult, it doesn't matter how old you are, it is still something that is not like, you're not prideful to talk about it and like, yeah, this is exciting. You just more want to bury it away. And they kind of bank off of that. And that's what's sad is that, you know, more people are going to get raped because the people doing it aren't going to be held accountable. And as we see, there's a lot of, non-accountability going on in the nation and with a lot of things that are taking place. And so I think it's really important for us to be that change and start talking about the things nobody wants to talk about. It's not easy, but it's like we can't continue to be in this perpetual state of chaos and lies if we don't step outside of it and say, I'm not going to participate in that anymore. I'm not going to let you guys sit here and tell me that this is a safe place to be, that this is worth our money to have people be locked away like this, practically in a prison, and have Teresa Smith who says, well, she wants them to stay as long as possible. And it's like, I find that odd because I would think that you would want them to not stay here that long, that you would be like, we got to get them out of here. Let's get them, have them stay here as short as possible because we're going to put them on the path into a home. Like, isn't not keep them here for years, year after year, just thinking that you're going to get help, and then, you know, their go through caseworker after caseworker, and basically, you know, just the timeline keeps getting pushed back, and so you can never get into. Most people find it outside of this place, and they're supposed to be a bridge to a home, and they're anything but that. So I just really find it, you know, important that we need to stand up for our homeless brothers and sisters.
Right, from what I've been covering down there, they have their, I say pallet homes.
Yeah.
They're metal shelters, they have bathrooms on site, you know,
Right.
It's more, standardized than this.
Yes.
And then, so this is also invested in the hotels that they're making, and 10 of the rooms are going to be for veterans, right? And then, El Cajon last week was talking how they're building theirs. The same thing
Right.
that Chula Vista has, they're building it in El
That's
Cajon.
interesting.
And then this was a couple years ago, but I go to Sacramento, and in Florida, and that's the city, they have a big, like twice as big as Chula Vista because of the size
Right.
of the property, but they're even investing into more stable.
Like a structure, yeah, because these tents, so they had these red and black tents before, and they were all weather. Like they were a lot more durable than the ones that they just got. And so Gazelle is this place that sells these tents, and I actually reached out to them, and this is a funny story, but the new tents that they got, they basically have like a package. It's called Safe Sleeping Site Tents, and they're like $450, which is crazy because all of their other good tents are probably about that much. They could go a little bit more, they could be a little bit less, but they're way better quality. Something that if you're going to be living in it, you need to make it it's not like you're just going out camping every once in a while. You know what I mean? Staying in it for like a few days. This is something they live in night and day in, day out, month after month until they get out of here. Here's this van coming in. So it's says love on it. Oh, the police just cut them off. And it's the San Diego Rescue Mission. And so they're picking these people up to take them to go get a meal and shower and like haircuts and stuff. And I think that they do this every year. It's like an Easter thing. And last time I guess there was like a line out the wazoo for haircuts and stuff. So they don't really necessarily get everybody like they should. They just don't plan and prepare. So that is them taking some people over. So we'll continue to see those. They're always, you know, like unless you know where this is going, you don't. Hey, sis.
Sorry, I was like.
That's okay. And so, my phone?
Because I'm going to call the local.
Oh.
We'll pick up anybody's number. Yeah, and I asked the lady earlier, I'm like, can I take your question? My dad said, she needs to go.
There you go. So push the green thumb. And so these tents, so they're like, they have it like on the site, you can actually go and see it's like safe sleeping tents. And so I thought I'm going to contact them and see what's going on because at one point in the city, they were claiming, Dreams for Change claimed that they needed like a couple $100,000 more, a few $100,000 more. And part of that was for $25,000 or so for tariffs that they had to pay because of things they were getting. So I'm like, oh, how much are these tents? And like, is that true? Are they paying tariffs? So I reached out to this company, Gazelle, under the guise of like wanting to open up my own tent city or whatever, like helping the homeless. And so she started giving me information, telling me that they, you know, like will do them in large quantities. If you had to get more, like they could do it a little bit less, but that they would be coming from, I think, China. And she, at a certain point, when I was going to she started asking me like, you know, what I was going to be doing with these or what, like, am I going to start, you know, my own little, shelter or whatever. And then she came back and stopped giving me information because she said, with a quick search online, it shows, you know, I see what you're doing. And she said, I don't want to give you any more information because you're going to just want to use it against the city. And so then I was like, okay, well, now I'm going to say, well, I mean, I'm covering deaths and sexual assaults that are happening in these tents. That should be concerning to you. But you could tell that they were in bed with the city, like part of the racket. I mean, because $450 for those tents, that's insane. I mean, I can see maybe $100. Like, they're not even worth it. They've ripped. They're not good quality, especially in the winter. People were like freezing in there because they don't have any kind of windproof. They won't let you put like a tarp on top. They just have all of these rules that keep people from being able to you know, really just have a safe place to sleep at night. I mean, and many of them come and put up with this abuse because, you know, women are terrified of being out on the street all night. They basically have to stay up so that they, you know, nothing happens and so that their stuff doesn't get taken. So that's why a lot of times people actually do drugs as well, is to make sure that you're staying up. But they give them pipes and needles just down by City College and Narcan and test strips for your drugs. So they even do that here. And it's like, instead of stopping the problem, they're like, let's test it for fentanyl so you don't overdose. But then they also condemn you for doing it. So it's like, it's just a cycle of nonsense that continues to happen.
You know the criteria, like the limitations that they put on people that reduce the amount of people. For example, with some of the food giveaways, they put an income requirement, yet others don't, and then they have 500 people showing up to get
Right.
their food at no requirement,
Right.
but then at a facility, quote unquote, ran by the city, tied in with one of the church's Catholic charities, then they put a requirement on it that then stifles the help that's supposed to get to people like this, you know?
Right, for sure. I don't think, not here, because this is, you know, people can call 211. There's different places that they can call, and they'll say whether or not there's spaces here. And one thing that I kept hearing was that there were like openings, but they kept saying that they were full, which I thought was interesting. Because there were pallets, like they had, you know, they put them on like a raised pallet a few inches high. And there was, even when I was going through Tent City, I saw a bunch of those. But they have been kind of on a rampage to kick people out. Like the two guys that came, that was from B-Lot, and that one's more, it's a smaller lot. Like this is a huge place that they could put a bunch of those tiny homes on. And you could put, it would fill the same space that the tent does. So it's like you could have like 1,200 people, you know, living there, and like, you know, they could put like a community garden where everybody could kind of take care of it. I feel like when you don't, you know, it's not as though they don't want to like take care of things. It's just, and obviously you're going to have people that are going to make it bad for everybody else, right? Like somebody going in and raping someone in there. Or, you know, there's been a lot of overdoses of fentanyl. I mean, fentanyl is being distributed throughout this place, and they're not doing anything about it. And that's been determined to be a weapon of mass destruction. So it's like, how are we, like, you know, just allowing this to go on? The police go in there. I mean, I had one of the videos I did get was of this guy, Michael, who he was high. I think he was high on PCP or something like that. But there was just like a bunch of police, and they try and it's like they took him down. And so I know there's a lot of activity. That's one thing I do need to look into is all the police activity that happens here because they're called all the time. But it's like they're definitely not taking down the sexual assaults and things like that. So it's very interesting. But let me make sure they're not going to leave real quick. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. I'll be right back.
Okay.
But you're okay. You are come in here, Cody.
Kids in there or no? Okay, that's what I want to know.
So you're part of the group now, man.
We don't do kids. Okay.
Save our children. Save the homeless. Save America.
Okay, a video?
Save America.
Lock up the criminals.
Okay, you guys ready to say?
Don't worry, you're live saying it. Come on, Cody, you're taking the picture. Right. Fix the camera. Okay.
I'm gonna cover some. No. I'm just going to say Sunset, and on the license plate is Lincoln, whatever that means. And he said we were paying right?
Well, the 27 was supposed to be on the feds. Money.
Well, I think that happened.
Right, exactly.
Things are happening in the background, and everyone's going to know that. It's the blessing.
We hope. Yes.
Okay, so we are going to, there's a few people that have been either at the city or aware of the things that are going on that they would like to talk to us. So I wanted to make sure before we went over there that they didn't mind being filmed. So I want to give you guys just a sneak peek into really what's taking place there for people who have first-hand knowledge and have experienced what's been going on at Greens for Change.
For them.
Oh, and I know, I'm like, how many can I have? And with the AMD, so deciding that, more people are feeling, this is how we end it. We have to talk about these things, and, they may want to retaliate, but this is people who have lived experience here, and I just want to give you guys a peek into it. My buddy Robert.
Hello, hello.
And
Here.
we're here to
Appreciate you
bring
guys.
light for you guys. So I don't know if you want to kind of, we can go down the line, or you guys can also just kind of.
If you want to have a question, and then we can all answer it, or we just want to talk about,
Or you can talk about what's kind of on your heart, about what's kind of taking place in your situation, things that you're aware of. Does someone want to go first? You want to go first? So you hold this. And why don't you just tell us? Yeah, no, you just there you go. There you go. There you go. Tell us your name.
Christopher Greer.
And do you currently live at Tin City?
I do.
At Olaf, right down here? How long have you been here?
I've been here about 4 months.
4 months. I know that you mentioned that you have cancer. I'm sorry to hear that.
I got colon cancer, so I have a colostomy bag, and it's just really kind of unsafe for me to be down here. The rats are my biggest issue. You know what I mean? Those two through the chance they come in and get into everything. They defecate on everything, and so I'm worried I'm going to catch something. A lot. Every 3 days I got to take everything out of the tent and clean up the rat food. It's everywhere. I don't know what the answer is, but it seems a little bit inhumane. Safety, I don't really get it because there's no lights.
Right.
So it's totally dark at night. I can't imagine how a female would feel.
Right.
And it's also, there's been rapes. Every now and again we hear about it. I don't know anybody personally, but so, you know, they say they're going to get us housed, and I don't know, I don't see it. And we don't see too many people that do get housed.
Do you see that they get more kicked out first?
Absolutely. Yeah, they're not super invasive, you know, but that comes with kind of watching after everybody too. And like I said, I can't imagine how it would feel to be a female and be there.
We're being kicked out for what we're being brought in there for. We're being kicked out. We're being told that kicked out of midnight here. I mean, the people that come in there, they have homeless problems, you know, hoarding, things like that. And they turn around and use it against them and take them out right back to the streets. I've been there for a year and a half with my wife of 26 years. She has COPD, major health problems, but there's nobody cares. Nobody wants to care. She's left. Not all of us are good, not all of us are bad, but what we're doing right now is it's a joke, really. I mean, to be inside a tent, it's safe. I don't get woke up by the police anymore.
Which would happen out on the street.
A lot. To the point where I probably got some issues, real issues because of that. Because they wake us up pretty rough sometimes.
And tell you to leave? But that's all?
Yeah, for sure. You know, call it encroachment, whatever it is. I've probably spent more time in the state of California for illegal lodging than I've had anything else. My wife too, right next to me. But it's me, I can take care of myself. It's her I'm worried about. She's just getting left over like, and people are getting housed left and right. And
so some people are getting housed, they're selected.
They are, and the people that we've noticed who are getting housing have been there for like a year.
if you have an income, yeah.
But if you don't, right, then
You don't.
Then do you think that they'll find out who does, get those into housing, and then the rest be like, we'll just use out, it doesn't matter?
It feels like it.
Yeah. Because I find that people too will get housing outside of them more quickly than through them.
Everybody there is working on that. Everybody there has a partnership with someone else. And it seems like partnership with someone else is more partnership with people. I mean, we have a place to come put ourselves sometimes. There's a lot that goes on there.
I mean, what else have you shared? Anything that you feel is important?
My wife won't leave the tent at night at all. From dark till sunup, she won't leave the tent. So she has to use the bathroom in the tent, use cups, inhumane. The people we see still, after even we moved here before they put up the gate. It was unreal. Since they put up the gate, it slowed down a little bit. Still people are walking in and out with our stuff. And nobody seems to care. They just sit there and earn their paycheck.
They wouldn't let us keep our stuff behind the tent, like a bike safe, for instance. They write us up for it and throw it away. They would take our electric scooters, our electric bikes, and throw them away.
Like, do you see them somewhere? Do you think they
No,
take
they
them?
didn't come tell us. They sneak into it.
Because I feel like they would probably want to take that and sell it as opposed to something
No,
for their
they-
benefit. You see them in the trash? Yeah.
They go put it in the trash. They're pretty honest about that.
But then there's the ones that really get to know you and you can see are actually trying to do something.
Right.
There's a couple now that are actually trying to start meetings and get us together and rally up and get something moving.
So is Jody gone?
Oh, yeah.
She's gone.
Yeah.
Did she get hired?
I think she got another job, which is probably a better thing.
Right. I wasn't sure, but I did hear that now tomorrow. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah. Is she the one that takes dogs tomorrow?
No,
Was that Aaron?
that's Aaron.
Aaron. And Aaron's not
I
her
purchased
civilian,
the dog,
right?
man.
You did?
I purchased the dog, take somebody else's dog, and throw it in the trunk, and it didn't persist. And so we called around, and we found out, and somebody had already stopped it.
Sorry, we just can't hear you on the stream. Give that one to him, yeah. There you go. And hold that towards that.
So, the guy that had a puppy, and bark and stuff like that, but nothing on hand. He was a little bit, like sometimes he yells at all maybe, and that was it. Never touched the dog. But he was just stressed. Like right now, at 11 o'clock, it's so hot in the tent that you can't stand in there. And you can't put a tarp or anything over it. They won't let you. So they just let it stay. A lot of us, like me, I don't always have the energy to get up and do anything. And so at this point, I have to get up and get out. Because they won't let me cover my hip or anything. And sun is just,
Why is this
100 degrees.
Why is this man even there? Beyond me.
Right.
We have two friends that have colon cancer. They're living in that environment.
Yeah, with such loss. So how do you manage?
If I'm not prepared and I don't have a light in the middle of the night, I have accidents sometimes. You can only imagine waking up, with that all over you. No light. So it comes up. I have to make sure I have a light and supply in case that does happen. And then, for the people like him, my buddies, if they got a light, I'll borrow it.
How do you get to the doctor?
Well, luckily they come here. Yeah, I just got set up with Healthcare and Action, and they come here. So all my doctors do for pretty much here. Great. They are now. Send me healthcare. Imagine that.
I mean, I know.
I didn't know that.
He's doing it last summer. To the people. Yeah. Look at our cat days on there.
That like listener just goes around and tries and like does it.
Frequent stars probably, and they did
the
too.
The one that attacked me, and I do believe she's been picked up. I'm not sure about that, but I think she has been picked up.
I don't think they, about every year or two, the cops will pull up and tell us, hey, here's your watch out, it's race time. And then they'll tell us, well, catch up to him, you guys handle it like you handle it. You want to run.
The problem with that is that there's no check, they don't check anybody moving in there. Everyone's going to we are
well, that has to be the reason. I've never heard anything like that happen. Like I said before, I can only imagine how it feels to
I have a friend that is a prostitute. She does.
Here. Really? Does she live here too?
Yeah.
Do they hate her or is it like her? You know what I mean?
I'm going to speak on the animal thing. Yeah. There was an incident that happened with a friend who had a cat. It was a little Russian cat. They stole the cat after she had 2 kittens. Stole the cat, left the kittens, and left him to deal with this. And then finally made him give up the kittens to the humane society. He got that bad.
You got her,
Yeah.
Great though. I love that you guys are here. Thank you for coming. important for us to talk about.
Like, all right, so I was in the tent again, and I've been in TV on this somebody broke in my tent and ruined my doors. First, the windows are working, they zip up. So that's the main reason why the draft is coming with me. And they wouldn't even give me another tent. They actually lied to me, told me to come, and then came back and said, I'm not going. So I've been there, going on 6 months, I guess. Break in, they'll jump up and say, I'm surprised nobody gets hit. But actually, when you're at night, when you're walking out through there, you can see them going back and forth. Crap. They unofficially have poison, that they're given, and then all that. I don't know, because I think every now and again, I've known that cop for 5 years. I've been homeless for 5 years. Never once again. He was homeless. But
How they shoot, died.
And you were saying in Chula Vista, what part of Chula Vista were you staying in?
So we came to Broadway, about Broadway and Walmart right there. Right.
Yeah, they got Harborside Park right behind there, and they put the fence in, and then they fenced off the trolley tracks, right? And so during that time, when you were staying out there, is that you're saying that the police department did address you, but they didn't offer help?
No, as soon as they found me camp, they woke me up and gave me a ticket, and then came and picked up the whole camp the next morning, which I was already packed up. I was staying in a tent. And then, trying to think what happened. I had given him my number, and one of the cops, he contacted me and then asked me if I wanted to go to the shelter.
And that was in Chula Vista, right?
Yes. They got like little FEMA tiny homes, kind of right outside of the wildlife refuge right there. And it was totally invasive. They keep me out for having cigarette wrench and Allen wrenches in my tent, or in my little house. I had 2 bikes, and you can only have one. So
that's right, it's a restriction. Because of that. Right. So in the restrictions, compared to Chula Vista, you're saying it's more restrictive than the access to get into this one?
A lot more invasive. You have to get the metal detector and everything.
Okay.
And whatever you have, they'll just put it in a pallet. Even if it's a price or something, they'll just put it in a pallet. They don't take it away. I was surprised by that. But then they kicked me out for having tools and working on the bike. I do it I find bikes that have problems because there's a lot of people don't know how to work on them. And I fix them and give them away to people who need parts. This guy down here, I'm not sure how old he's on this.
better way and resources.
Right.
Yes, COPD said that too. Real hard. Yeah, rats in there. There's no handicap showers. You would think that we have
Right.
California.
Right. Because there's stairs going up.
Yeah, you do have stairs and cheap. You make it free, nothing, and then tell her business.
Well, because they're real dirty. Like, you live.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And sometimes I try to help her. I'm not trying to go on there to help her.
Right.
So then the weird about that, like, my mom,
Yeah.
the only thing, there's some people that are trying to help her, only taking her maximum, taking her, other than that, not too many are willing to help. It's still like they're not going to help us.
Right. How long have you been there?
It's October.
What brought you here? How did you get here?
We were on a tasting party.
One of yours, the Green for Change?
Yes.
Okay.
We were in there. And we were there with our friend and she had a car with us. They got in a fight. We were friends for all of our and that was it. And we went back to Dixon and they called us to say she was working. So yeah, so they kind of did that. But
did they bring you over here?
no,
You
we
had
read
to
it.
Uber with. Really?
Yeah. With the dog, $30. And that's the last $30 I had. It was on a Friday night. From my bank. That's the we can get us where you can go, but we didn't have a car, so we can go. Still, I thought that was okay. And they drove down here, and I actually but I help her. She's 6 years old and she's 6 years old and she don't want to go into a home. And I did do that because they just got a phone where we were before. But as far as these things, if you can do a little bit better than this, as much money as you can. Because you're not having like handicap showers, that's crazy.
Right.
Something like that, I'm trying to find out. Put money into that at least.
Right. I mean, she takes clean. They don't upkeep anything, you know, and it's like that's a very easy task.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to go to the car and get clothes that are beat.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it needs to be clean.
Right. I mean, that's something where I'm surprised even the company they're contracting with wouldn't come out and that part of
they do,
the contract, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta, like, once a week even if it's every couple of days.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But, like, something,
yeah.
I mean, not just having the field,
So something small.
like, activity on
What if there was one thing that's missing right now that could help you, like you directly, or your family in a situation? What are they not doing that would help you?
I think that like, well, as long as you know, our Lord, like, if they help us give me back Christ and help her, it's not like anything. I was, right? I'm pretty sure we can get a nice little something. And I'm not gonna leave it. She's gonna have some years and she's 9 years old. So something to help us better. If we have AIDS, we don't have to be.
Right. Right.
And then I'm one of the departments that I thought that was like, right. No, we're still here.
And what are they saying in terms of, you know, like are they just
no, actually, not more of how she's doing how she's rather than care of people together. Like I said, it's not, I would keep my house after we have
yeah, that's what I mean, that's what they sounded like, but then it's like obviously not with everybody. So how are they making that choice?
Exactly, and we took her. And the one that had hired now is kind of young, and you would think that there's somebody with life experience. I don't know, or somebody in the same
you're not the only person that applied for it. Oh, yeah, I hired that person. Right. A lot of people just apply. I would think somebody get one of those orders. I don't know, somebody that's been in a situation.
Right, that has
Life experience. She's 23, I don't know. She's young. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of...
It's questionable who they hire.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? I mean, you can
No,
come back and talk to her.
Oh, you're fine.
So and keep going around, and then,
Yeah.
but if you think of anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're here for you guys, so.
Well, like I said, appreciate it. Talk to her.
Yeah.
My mom would have been up here, but oh, and another thing, it's kind of weird how today they're coming out today, right, and taking us today to dinner and service. I don't know if it's a distraction. I think a lot more people would have been here if they didn't have a dinner and hopefully. I'm not saying the church is dinner, but I'm saying
No, but that's a nice opportunity.
yeah, it's not, not so many people go over here.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's still good, and there's still other times. I mean, if you guys have a contact with me through Cam or Ann or Dia, like any of Ted, Preston, like all of them. You know what I mean? So like, I'm Audra.
Okay.
So like.
If we were Cameron and right there, we're right there. So
yeah. So if you want my number, you know, you can have her give you my number.
You talk to my mom too. Like,
Yes, absolutely.
More personal or something, yeah.
And she walked this. It's hard for her to get up here. Right?
Yeah, no, it's hard. Well, so keep me posted. Okay? You know what I mean? Like if you want to tell her stuff, if you want to have her give you my number, she can give you my number. I'll even tell her.
She'll do that stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Appreciate that.
We're
Just making sure.
yeah.
My concern is what I talked about earlier.
You get a better
heard what's going on. Some of the things on coming on.
I know. And that's the thing about being there. It's like,
Hey, Mo.
it's hard.
Same plane. So we can talk about that. Chemtrails, I'm sitting there watching. Hey, it's like clockwork. Every time you hear something or say something, everything goes off.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, listen to what's going on. You stop the information from us from going.
Right.
But like wherever you want to start.
Yeah, however you. I mean, you guys tell me. We'll go around so everybody can talk. You know, but start thinking about things that you want to share. I guess. So anything that you find is important that people should know.
I mean, they should know a lot.
Let's start there.
Huh?
You're not put on the spot.
Oh, I'm trying to find the spot. You know, I'll be the one, trying to help, trying to, I take my licks on my chin, you know what I'm saying? I'll take it. Why not? But some of the shit is like, they treat us like we're inmates. Treat us like we're toddlers. Like, how do you get mad and say you can't get no power? We're going to turn the power off at 10. Because we are not locked up.
No, and just the code violations with the power, it's like, oh my gosh.
We're unable to eat when they turn off the power.
Right.
We couldn't eat yesterday because they turned off the power because somebody stole something. I don't come out of my tent because of that.
Man.
I stay in my tent almost all the time. I've been here for a year and a half.
Shit, when I was here, I stayed outside my tent. You know what I mean? Because it didn't belong to you. It belonged to rats.
Yeah.
They got developed PTSD of a victim of a rat orgy. You know what I'm saying? It was horrible.
It was so bad in the beginning. Cause I remember the original tents had no bottom. So there was no way physically to keep the rats out of here. You could do all kinds of things. People were stapling like the flaps on the inside of the tent to keep them out, and they would just shoot through it. Right?
Yeah, that's the big flat.
Yeah.
Well, no, what I meant was that we don't have a rat problem.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen a rat before I got to that. Ever.
And they're getting rid of people's cats who are not spayed or neutered. But that's how we're getting rid of the rat problem.
I know, I was like, all they have to do is put cats there and they will take care of my cat.
We have tons of cats and they love them.
They love them.
They love them. They play football with them and it's
I
great.
mean, if they ain't stolen,
Right.
they're stealing our people's animals. My boy. Yeah.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Aaron was awesome.
John.
Okay. And what's your name? I need a better mic. I don't know why she's talking.
My boy, he had this fit, and then he said like 10 seconds, he let it sit in there. One of the workers changed, took his dog out, passed it to another worker. That worker put it in the trunk, passed it to somebody else. His puppy was found in Carlsbad, or Ballwood, and he had to pick it up in Carlsbad. He found it that same day, picked it up the next day, then they took it.
He's not driving back.
And then false reports about him, he abused his dog, and it was like, you guys are making up things so it can fit what you want it to fit.
It's just crazy because I think people come to the city thinking one thing is never whatever you think it is not. Whatever you think it is. Like, let's start there. Because, like, first of all, the staff are like, some of the staff are like Nazi dictators. And it makes no sense because you need to be kind, compassionate, caring, like, have some level of, like, empathy to work here. You should, but the severe lack of that was, like, horrible.
There was a point where the people that was hiring them, like, they was teaching them, don't be close to them, you know, treat them like nothing.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Because before they was working, I was closer to the night workers. Instead of, they were talking to each other certain times. To where, because I felt like we got the workers at night, moved them to a different lot, fired them, said, oh, we can't do stuff for them anymore. Act like you know, for nothing. Like, okay.
I know a girl right now that used to work here who I saw at my cousin's department because she got fired because she was too close to work to the client. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, your job should be to be as close as human possible to provide whatever needs you have. Like, I don't understand. So it was just, I don't know.
Like, they don't want to have compassion for you or anything.
No.
You know what I mean? They just want to treat you like a number, like a
They don't
patient.
think of us as humans. We're not human beings to them.
Well,
Which is unfortunately the attitude all around. Oh no, yes, it is.
There's literally illegal beach camp anywhere inside of San Diego. That's North County as well. We need a completely legal beach camp anywhere in San Diego County. And then said that you have the option to either come to Sin City or you can go to jail. And then the people that were coming here were expecting.
I feel like jail.
In some
But I don't
cases,
know.
it
I
was.
mean, either they're both kind
In
of
some
like
cases,
that.
at some point, it was.
I mean, yeah.
Better food.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And the food
I'm like, dang it! I took a coin because.
Yeah, and the food got progressively worse over time. Like, at some point, it started seeing like breakfast is literally what you give the kids at school.
Yeah, like it's like.
It didn't start off that way,
No.
but it turned out that way.
Breakfast was a daily from 7-Eleven.
I wonder how all they're getting more donations, and she makes more money, and yet the only improvement has been sex.
Yeah.
The showers have not been fixed.
Or the washing and dryer.
The kids are worse. I mean, the kids are way worse.
But there's no that you still have to eat, so that you don't have to eat for the little bit of it that is decent. And it's like, the most, like, my favorite part was going to get that. Legitimately, like, we would stockpile whatever alcohol we could get because, like, that was one of
It's closed.
It's closed, and it was great, and, like, but the problem with that was, if you left it out in one space the next time, that came there. It was too right, you know, so it's like, now you have to make a cooler to hide it inside of, and then at one point they said, hey, anything that's inside your tent, you can have. You know what I mean? And then they started telling people they couldn't have in their tent. Why does it matter what I have in my tent? This is my space. Like, wow, how did that bother you?
Like, how you can kick somebody out having it at home?
Yeah.
How are you going to do that?
My tent wasn't even bad. They gave me a write-up. They said my tent was dirty inside outside. At this time, I left. I came back and people did my tent and they didn't do nothing about it. So I said, fuck it, I'm going to just throw it open. Rats, cats. There was a few times I woke up with random cats on my chest. So hello, kitty. So I said, fuck it, I'll go ahead and clean up. And as I cleaned up, I took everything out, and step by step, I was talking to workers. I said, check it out. I'm going to make upstairs and downstairs. You know what I'm saying?
That was that.
I did that. So they okayed it, took the 30-day away, gave it right back to me. Well, I was like, wait a minute. if you gave me a 30 days, when you pick back, don't that mean I get another warning, another 3 warnings before I write up?
Yeah.
It'll work out. You know what I'm saying? Look. And then when I got the next one, like, my mutation worker, he's like, every time I say first name, well, it's not her. She's not doing it. Get off the doctor that home. I'm not going to get her because she's doing something. But what? Every time, back in my house. Nobody's back house to look good. That's where you store your stuff. But you look inside my tent, I had enough space for 3 niggas my size, because 6 companies with leg stretch, plus my upstairs and downstairs with 4 other people. So, you know, they okayed it, take it away. All right.
They'll put a Band-Aid on a bullet wound and then get mad at you because you're asking for help.
Oh, yeah.
They'll polish the turds.
Check this out. They told me, because I had a store, listen here. They told me, I went through Aaron and asked her, okay, what do I do with this? Because the last one that I just bought, a $400 stroller, got partied out. All of her stuff. I had it parked up front. So she gave me permission to park it on my tent, as long as I had it. Okay. And then gave me a write-up for having it where Aaron told me to put it. How am I getting a write-up for something that you told me to do? You get me a write-up. Oh, it'll disappear in a month.
You want to talk about taking stuff, right?
Yeah, they took my stroller again. It's gone.
But when you're not home, they stole it. Have people going to tent, taking things out.
That's your workers. Yeah.
There's a lot of things I had inside my tent. Put away the backpack, put away somewhere. I come back, it's gone. I came back, my dresses was all pushed over. I was like, rats gonna do this. Y'all keep looking for something.
There was stackable, you know those stackable drawer cases that you get like at Walmart? We had one of those, and not only was it torn apart, but whole drawers were missing. They took the whole drawer out. So even when we put it back together, we couldn't even use it anymore because there were drawers missing. Like, and I was like, what do you get out of this? Like, you're taking from people who already don't have.
Well, maybe you're taking it and keeping it from yourself.
Of course, but I mean, like you're taking from those who don't have. Like, you have your place, you have your car, you have your job. We don't have anything. You're taking from those who don't have.
Man, remember, all of them got cars and then they all left.
Yep. Everybody showed up with brand new cars.
Yes.
And then
I
they're
heard
gone.
about that, yes.
Are the workers people who stay there as well?
Some like case workers are not
Okay.
They don't have come here, 8 hours, and then you leave. And then you're trying to band-aid something and throw something. You guys ain't here these hours. I said there was a time where, where's the night staff? We the night staff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're the ones that patrolling, walking around, making sure no random people coming, stealing bikes, going in girls' tents and all stuff. You know what I mean?
The one thing literally cars in their cars.
Yeah, somewhat. The literal part about
I've gone up there a million
is the community that we created. Because really, at nighttime, it was the community that kept us safe. It was us and each other. We really locked into each other and kept each other safe, kept each other warm, made sure everybody had what we needed. Like, the staff don't do shit for us at nighttime. They're literally overpaid, glorified victims. Right. And they're not even that great.
Because there are people, I'm going to ask them because I'm going to go over here. You, like the ankle monitors and stuff, do you find that? You were talking about criminals. Like, we're hiring you.
Your workers, yeah. And it's like, how do you hire convicts instead of professional people that can actually talk to you right instead of cussing at you and shooting you like you on the street or something? And it's not right. Like one night, I was coming in, I don't never sign in, right? And I just walk past them. Sometimes they shine a light on me, sign in. It was one night, I came in late, and the guy was like, you gotta come sign in, you gotta come sign in. I was like, I don't never sign in, I didn't know that. So when I went down to the thing, he actually followed me to the bathroom and waited for me to come out of the bathroom. Man, sign in. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? So I started going off on him, and the other staff heard it. So I started walking up to my tent, and I was like, what's going on? I said, I don't have to sign in. And y'all know that. I don't sign in for nothing. So I don't sign in.
They don't verify. They don't do that either.
But they went down there and they surrounded him. Surrounded. He was backed up against my tent.
And they they surrounded me like this, you know, like they was like, you know, like, you know, like that. So I had my back against the wall, started pulling my stats like, what? Why y'all surrounding me for? Well, I did a black criminal. Like, y'all treat me like a criminal. And I said these, so I'm like, it was like, that triggered me. And I was like, I told myself, everybody that was like, no, leave them alone. Like, you know, so I took one of my homeboys that worked there and whispered in his ear, was like, leave them alone. And that's not, you know, like, you fuck. And it's just like, they all reversed. And then the dude still kept trying to have me come in. And I was like, bro, I'm gonna go on my tent. You can talk about me, talk about favor. Hold that. That's cold. You know, very, very cold. I'm the meanest out there. So I get a little hard. I need to get warm. So it was crazy that night. I was shaking. Like I had to go to her to calm down. Like she had to calm me down and stuff. It was just crazy. Like, that's the calm that you got.
You know, this is a great idea. I've never seen this before. I've traveled. Great idea. People who are running, yeah, it is. They don't know what you're doing. Absolutely do not know. Yeah, and I'm sorry, I don't ever see that way, but to me, money goes somewhere, and there's a reason why that's not closed down. That was the email. I don't know, some of it is the council members in the city.
I want to encourage people who imagined it and who have the empathy to create this and who like really genuinely have the right mindset when they're trying to create the country. However, when they put people in charge, like okay, first of all, Erin, again, not a dictator, okay? Let's go back to the military. Thank God. But thank God, because she led in a very militant way, like with complete lack of compassion, no empathy, and when that started being out that she used that way, she started saying everything with a smile, but almost condescending.
Now,
Very much.
you gotta remember though, when she was just paperwork though, cool as shit.
It's in the power.
It's when it gets the power.
That's what it is. It's a power trip because they get no hits. And like I said, we're strong. They just got a bad situation. Most of the people in San Diego get one paycheck away from being where we're at.
Yes, absolutely.
I have an income.
I remember that.
I have an income. Unfortunately, I cannot find a place to live in my income. And I just found out after being there for a year and a half, they don't even help with housing yet. That's not what it said on the paperwork I was given.
Wait, they're saying they don't help with
No, they don't. They don't help with housing. There's supposed to be a bridge to it. Erin straight up told me that
here's how it works. Here's what your answer is. There's a system that all of the entities in San Diego use called Clarity. Okay, Clarity is used by by Future Change. It's used by what's the other one? Downtown Partnership.
Talk about where they talk about us and they all type it in where everybody can read it.
Yes, that's a system called Clarity, and it's a system that the entire county uses, and including my ACT program, which is totally separate from this altogether. But it's a housing database. That's what it's for. It's meant for housing. There's a bridge to it because they enter all the data into Clarity. Here's the deal. They're not personally housing people.
Right.
What happens is kind of like a lottery, almost. Right. You get housed based on
myself and my spouse. I love her. You and the kids are out and strangling me all the time. She's so big in my case. So anybody that tries, so anybody that maybe calls or something like that, if they ran a police report or something like that, or they're not gonna call me. Right. They think that I've got this crazy person.
Right.
You know, as far as that, our little, the thing where they write into it, one of my boys down there, he went to a different program, or somebody else, and they looked up his name, and he said the last 3 paragraphs of his, what they wrote about him, made him look like an asshole. I'm curious what the fuck they had to say about all of us, you know? Like,
you really have to almost be performative if you want housing. And it's ridiculous.
I busted my butt for 8 months. I was out there every day talking to people, going to places that I'm not supposed to be going to. My caseworkers are. They'll tell me, okay, I'm not supposed to be talking to you. You have your caseworker talk to them. I'm like, you don't have time.
See, and that's the point.
I'm coming down to because I need a house.
Right.
But the daytime
to be that bridge to all that.
Yeah, the daytime case managers, their case manager is a term that is really over, like, they're blowing their heads up. I call them case manager. You don't actually do anything. You're here to daytime babysit.
Hey, some of them do. You can't say all.
You're right. It's not all of them. You're right. Some of them do and do their very best to do what they do the way they do. But the majority of, and I had to, the vast majority of the staff that came through here, and staff's forever changing.
Yeah, right.
It's ever changing. It's on a constant, like, I've never seen a revolving door like that for a place of employment. Never seen it. And it's just it's mind blowing to me how, like, they really come and like their job in their mind is to keep us where we're at.
Tell us what to do.
And to keep us where we're at. We're not actually trying to progress. They want to keep this here as long as they can to get money out of it.
Yeah. Teresa said she wants people to save all the costs.
And that's incredible. That's fucking incredible.
I was like, what? You don't want to?
I don't steal, I don't kill, I don't do none of that shit. Even though I'm a gambler, I just don't do none of that. And people be stealing from me and all kinds of stuff. And it's like, all stuff from home. I remember that one dude when I first moved here? Yeah. He was always stealing. It was like, yeah, so-and-so got it, so-and-so got it.
And you always had it.
Yeah, and that's new. And they should have it, like,
there's a policy that says this is not supposed to be stealing. So it's like people being kicked out based on that. If you wouldn't have to kick people out, instead of being kicked out for having dirty pens, for having domestic disputes with their partner that weren't physically violent. You can't argue, you can't yell, you can't scream.
Oh, and
now kicked out.
Now they've made up the excuse to kick out the people that cause them problems. They threaten us. If you raise your voice to staff, they say you threatened us. If you talk back to staff, they say you threatened us. They can kick you out because of that. I'm surprised I haven't gotten kicked out because I stood up for almost everybody that's been kicked out of there. I get in their face and I'm like, no, you got to pick up their stuff because they give them like 30 minutes to leave. We've been there for years. How are we going to get our stuff out in 30 minutes and we have nowhere to go? So you're supposed, it says in the contract, you're supposed to take that stuff and put it in storage for I think it's a week. What do we think they have to do? Well, we signed.
There's nothing key for that is that you have a 30-day notice. You have 30 days to notice.
No, that's not what they're doing. That's not what they're doing. They're not coming out and telling you to be about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and then one of the guys who they kicked out was so upset about it. He's like, I have nowhere to go and I can't carry this stuff. One of the workers actually threatened him and told him, "What about? I'll kick your ass right now." I was shocked. Asked him, I was so upset. I wanted to cry. I never in my life, I could not believe that. I was like, how are they getting away with this? And he knew he was doing wrong because he hid his face from Eric when he told me that.
They just got the footprint on the shirt. Yep. When you got tough workers that still works here.
What about people are supposed to be entrusted with helping and to certain levels touching? Because we're on, like, we're basically helpless. Like, we don't have what we need to get where we want to go. And it's so sad because, like I said, some of these people that are some of the hardest working people I've ever met, some of the most healthy people I've ever met, like, who had careers and, like lived lives and, like, done things, and they're just down on their luck. And they get treated like absolute scum because of where they're at. And it's like, why would you do that to somebody? Why would you do that to anybody? Even if they were. Why would you do that?
Most of the people down there, they're not drug addicts that are lazy or anything like that.
No.
This town is one of the hardest towns to live in, and I've always wanted to live here. This is where I wanted to die at. Now, I'm here. I'm here. I cannot. The attitude, what's going on with Tennessee, like, I don't understand how she's getting away with this. I really don't. It blows my mind.
There's no one laughed at me when I recorded one of the deaths.
Why?
No, I'm just saying, no, I've recorded. No, I wasn't, but I'm like, but when I was talking about Tammy, because like the day before I'd gone in to talk to him, and I was like, and Tammy died last night, like, and he was laughing at me, and I'm like, fuck, dude. Why are you laughing at me? That's not funny. You should care about all of these. This is your district. This is a reflection of you, and you don't care. And that's what's so egregious is like they are doing an audit looking into their homeless solutions, So I'm trying to get them to do Tent City, audit Tent City. I hear you.
Maybe we done something. Here's the whole regulations. Here's the thing. They're describing Tent City as a shelter, right? But there's certain regulations that can comply by certain. Right. One of them that one of the major ones that bother me is that you are supposed to provide a place and a space for storage. They don't provide that for us. And then they get mad when we come what we have, and it's like, this is all we have. It doesn't have anything. God forbid you're comfortable. God forbid you're comfortable. And now you guys share those lives in these completely tents. And they will kick you out if you have anything on the outside. And it's like, and then it's like, cooler. Why do I have a cooler on the inside of my tent? Why?
Even after they give you permission to do it. They give you permission to do stuff. And then use it to write you up. And then you got to pray to God that you don't get another write-up within the 30 days that you can take it away. I said, bullshit. That's just so that you can write me up again, so that you can get me out, because I don't do anything wrong. So stand up for everybody.
Well, and what about the sexual assault and like having like that being covered up and telling people not to report it?
That was so covered up that we pretty much didn't hear about it. Only if you knew that cops were more than people know the person. Yeah, well, right. That's the much. Right.
Oh my God, my parents because they tried to take my stepdad was sexually assaulted. But I don't did it. And he would not. And when the girl that they claimed that he did it to was confronted because he wanted to know, like, why was she saying? She's like, I never said that.
So it was the staff saying that she said that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And it's like, so you guys will use this as a tool to kick out somebody who has never been a problem because he walks around, he's in his demeanor in some ways, he's not like, he walks around, he just tries to keep everybody's spirits up, and he minds his own business, and he stays out the way. But because he is sometimes a little bit directly, like, with the staff, like, he'll say something's wrong, and something's wrong, he'll be like, nah, that's not right. That becomes a problem to them. If you're not right, you're not right. What is the problem? Make it right.
Like they didn't I feel like. So even what about death? How many?
Oh man!
I lost count. I like
20.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And then they'll boil everything down to, oh, these are just drug addicts. And it's like that's not the case. In a lot of cases. And in some cases it's clearly foul play.
The rules change from shift to shift.
Yeah.
That's what's awful. Is we don't know like
how we feeling today.
Yeah. And they'll kick out. They'll like if they don't like you, they'll fight you. And you have to leave. You have no voice. You can't say no, I didn't do that, or no, that's not how it went. I even wrote Teresa about it when they tried to kick Corey. I wrote her and I was like, this is bullshit. They're wrong. I watched what happened. They're wrong, and they're making him leave for something they're wrong about. They're not letting him talk. Nothing. And I got her little form letter that said, oh, thank you, blah, 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 blah. We'll look into it. My motherfucking ass is going to look into it.
No, in the city. Put in the file drawer and everything.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, like, I don't like causing no work. So, you know, we're locking on. You know, we had watching neighborhoods sitting outside, make sure everybody's sitting all right. And the words to me was like, I like this shit. I don't want to get ready. But they're saying you gotta go.
Right.
Oh,
that was Aaron's excuse for her giving me the write up for my stroller. Oh, the city told me. That's what told me to do it.
Oh, that's my favorite excuse.
The city doesn't even come down there.
The hard number two, and they kicked me out. They said first what's his name? He's the black security guard. He's like just about my height. I forgot his name.
An active security uniform?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was like the whole supervisor. He was one of the supervisors. Preston thought he was like this guy who's like a murderer, like a gang banger. That's it. But he's in prison. He has the same name. Crap, I forgot his name right now. But he said at first he said Jody doesn't want you here, and then I was like, who's Jody? And then he's like, well, yeah, I mean, she said that you can't be here. And then I'm like, why? And he's like, well, I don't know, the city doesn't want you here. So they kept going back and forth. It's like their go-to, right?
Anybody who tells you no,
isn't anything on the city if their go-to? Because there's nothing that we should say about it. They know that we don't have the tools necessary or even the knowledge to go come back whenever it's being sent to the city. Right. They know most of us don't even know how to go about it.
That's why all of us need to go to the city.
We need to, yes.
All of us, anybody who wants to change needs to go.
Yes,
I've been saying that for months. Okay, so I can tell Gail, or whoever, I don't know, you guys, you know, have my number if you want to talk to me, you get it, I can find it there. But I mean, I just need a way to get in touch with all you. So,
I've written to the next meeting.
So I have a question. Service workers touches you.
Oh yeah.
What consequences are there? You know.
They shouldn't even put their hands on you in any way, shape, or form.
Nah, man, fuck all that. There's that one that put his hands in my pocket.
no,
It doesn't mean
it went in his pocket.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and you see, my hands are full. I'm coming to just ask a question to help you help me so we can get this shit rolling. And nobody did nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, they
Oh,
they
all
go
the
in
time.
to take shit.
All the time.
No. Catching up.
What did you want to say?
No.
It's still an animal.
Yeah, he can't really.
Oh, just
He can't really ruffle any feathers.
There's a lot of animals.
At this point, fuck ruffling feathers, like.
Two trailers that you
On me, I'll tell them all. I'll tell everything. I'll set that shit up.
Yep. Does anybody even use it?
The shower? Yeah, man. I mean, that shit was used. They were like
The shower that's not there.
Oh, right.
That shower.
Which one is here?
Hey, those are the
Hilarious though. Everybody all the time. Right. But at some point, they started separating this government partnership and this change and the change is just, yeah. Well, there was a shared separation to an extent where they were just like, well, we don't want to go, and that's dumb too. Like, why can't we? Why can't we?
We're all in it together. Yeah.
And it very much is where it's together. Yeah. Tradition very much is a community because we built that. That's zero to do with that.
See, I'm so like, I don't ever hear about downtown partners. I mean, I hear about them runs their shit strict.
But they're very militant. Like the way that Aaron came in and tried to get everybody to clear out and kept blaming the city for it, it was just like, hey, you guys can't have this, can't have that, or I'm kicking you out. Like they started off that way with downtown partnership. So there was never any room for certain things to become a certain way because it's always been that way from the start. And had they done that with us from the start, I think there'd be a lot less pushback. The fact that they will never make a rule about anything until you get uncomfortable with it. Now it's a new rule. Now it's something you're implicating, and we're just supposed to readjust. Like, no. Downtown partnership has always been like this. It's always been like this. So people have to respect what this is, or at least. So, like, I don't really agree with all the way of how downtown partnership works because my mom got in one of their cheers for a while before she got them passed it. Yeah.
They have the same problems that they do with the infighting and stuff like that.
They're worse with
I hear about them downtown and keeping people up, but it's like I'm just really surprised. I would love to talk to somebody that like they will.
I would think that you're probably going to be scared to talk to them about it.
They even treat us like we're among stones.
Yeah, that's why
Downtown partners, I've been yelled at. Downtown.
There's on top of that, they got different showers.
Yeah.
Moved over to showers. But yeah, shit. They didn't want us to do the program
Like it reminds me of the same way that like education brought up, but it keeps you dumb and obedient. Yeah. That's literally what they're trying to do here. And it's like we're grown people with our own minds where we know right from wrong. You can't do that. If you can't.
Oh yeah, and the water.
That's it. Start on the water.
Yeah, that's it.
The water.
The rat water.
How in the hell are you going to put 200 more people just on one tier? We're this far away from us. Mine and my neighbor's tent touches.
Yes, they're super fire.
But how are you going to put 200 extra people on my tier and still keep the same amount of water? Because we run out of water on a regular basis. No water. None. They still have the same amount of barrels for water that they did in the beginning.
Those are so funny.
Yeah.
But even that,
we run out of water all the time.
Even then, that's the that you even want to use the water because it's not water. There's a point where people are actually getting sick because of the water.
And Teresa was like, the rat's not in the water. It was
Oh
in the water.
yeah, and then when the rats were rampant, because the rats didn't was bad, not really. But like when they were rampant, we were so sick. There's actually a friend of mine who is suing anyway, regardless of what formula is signed, because she got paralyzed. Something that from the ground, got to her from her feet, paralyzed her, and this she had to teach herself. She got hair, but she had to teach herself how to walk again. Like, this place is genuinely toxic, and they know it, and they blame it on us, but they blame it
My
on
dog
us.
is constantly sick. I don't even let him go outside anymore. He got chased and attacked by rats. And when I went to tell them about it, they said, it's not our problem.
You'll have to forgive me if this sounds ignorant. I don't know, so I'm just asking. I appreciate that. I just, I want to know, like, when you guys are trying to report something to them. I'll give you an example. In Chula Vista, they have the HOP team, right? And that's supposed to be in support of the facility, too, right? It's not like a one-end part. I know there's different restrictions and different things for Chula Vista, but as far as here, is there any law enforcement involvement, rangers?
Not except somebody is there who is being kicked out and is not ready to leave. That's the only time we come down there. Or if somebody is down there being accused of selling drugs, they're doing drugs. Like, that's the only time we come down there. They don't come down there to be a supportive feature for, like, and I'm just saying what happened. What if anybody looks at the homeless community as a whole? That is also
And I never had any interaction with him.
When you're homeless, right in the hospital, when they find out that you're homeless, the way that you treat you based on your homeless status is egregious beyond that. Like, they need to make a new word for just how abhorrent it is.
Yep. And when I first got here, I went to the family, whatever it is downtown, and Family Giant. No, the family health center.
Oh yeah.
To see the doctor. First time I ever saw the doctor. I don't dress like that's like a homeless. He was perfectly fine with me. A gentleman, asked me questions until he found out where I live. And then all of a sudden, he stood up and he looked at me and said, "Oh, by the way, if you want to get off of crystal, we have a program." I was like, okay, I wasn't even done telling you everything that's wrong with me. You just automatically assume that I do drugs. I'm 54 years old taking drugs like this day. I said, now, what about my high blood pressure? What about my cholesterol? What about my heart problem? What about all this? To this day, that's their attitude down there.
San Diego as a whole has a problem with living in the homeless community. I understand that there are some homeless people, and it is true, there are some homeless people who are just pigs. Yeah, they're terrible to be around, they're not nice people, they're disgusting, they look and smell disgusting, but that's not every person who comes out. There's so many of us in Kansas that when we come out, you have no idea that we're homeless. And if we didn't tell you, you wouldn't know. Because we take pride in ourselves. And our situation is not who we are. But that's how people treat you around here. Like, it's crazy. San Diego has a problem. They lack empathy.
I read all the time. Oh, we put the money out to give them a tent and a place to go so they're not living on the street. This is what we get. Did you forget that we're human beings? Just like you. You're a paycheck away from where I am. The only reason I'm here is because I was beaten the hell out of and they made her leave. And
God forbid AI finally takes over everything like I know it's going to.
I wish
so
Matt
many more
would
people are going to be in Tent City. I firmly believe, no one ever says there are there's a dirt area on the way down the hill that's flat where they have like these trails where like they're constantly dirt to it. I don't know what they're doing. I think they're flattening that out to make that more space for more tents. And I said that to so many people who were like, no, they never said anything about that. Well, they didn't say anything about the one that put across away from what used to be the third tier. Now we're the fourth tier and they're the third tier, which makes no fucking sense. Because they weren't even there first.
Don't forget the tier 5 and 6 and 7 on the other side of the fence.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a working joke. Because people got put out of the city, and they will go sit on the other side of the city and put that there. Before the new Pacific, they have a new iron fence. We're called like England fence. We'll sit down the other side of the fence. And that's our 5, 6, and 7. Because they still come into the community and that's what And they had a problem with that, so that's why they put the irons in. So like, if you're not one of us, you can't eat here. But like, why is that even a problem? You put them out, and you know they have nowhere else to go. That's why they're doing it.
If they're females. Yeah, and it doesn't matter if they're females or what. Like,
a single woman should never be put out on the street at 12 o'clock at night. And I cannot tell you how many times that has happened. Where at 12 o'clock at night they made a decision. All of a sudden that you have to go, you have to go now. We are calling the cops. You got 30 minutes to get ready. Get your shit, get out.
or let somebody be comfortable thinking that they're not going to get kicked out for getting into an argument with somebody else that wasn't even their fault, and they come to them 2 days later and say, "Oh, you guys, 2 days? What?"
Like, what are you talking about? It was an issue when it was an issue. It was an issue.
They pick and choose, like the people who they're mad at don't
chasing her and stuff. And now she on nowhere to go.
And I watched Sam back her up and walk past my tent with her phone. So you just go, "I got you, bitch. I got you, bitch." I was like,
oh, like, what are you doing?
I'm like, so I've never seen employees able to act like this. They're still employees. This is their job.
Yeah.
Okay, this is their job. You act civil at your job. I don't care what it is. You do not threaten the people that you're supposed to.
You don't cuss at them. You don't threaten them. You don't belittle them.
And they don't care. We complain. Nobody cares. That paper goes nowhere else. To not anybody who cares. There's no people who aren't connected with Dreams to Change or the city that is overlooking it.
See, I just want people who work for or are currently working for Dreams to Change to realize something. If you were a nurse, if you were a fireman, if you were a school teacher, you cannot talk to people the way that you talk to us. Ever. Or you lose your job. On principle, on
Calling it stupid, stuff like that. Like, this is the only place I've ever had somebody
argument on and stuff. Just like when people arguing, they just edging on, saying little shit. And we trying to calm, like I was trying to calm her down. My ex was trying to calm her down. And the staff, I call it Elizabeth, because I don't like her. Was like talking shit, edging on. Instead of taking the fuse out, she kept the fuse in. And I'm trying to calm her down because when she goes off, it's bad. It's like you can't turn that switch off. And then she over there just, I saw you just edging out, talking shit to her. And I'm like, dude, you need to shut the fuck up. Like, stop edging
like
on.
all of a sudden they forget.
And then,
they think they're out on the street.
And then they got crazy people that live there, put you right next to them, or they put them right next to you and start doing all this weird shit, talking and just talking constantly. I got this guy right now, that's my neighbor, won't shut the fuck up or nothing. Talking, throwing jabs at me and stuff, and just talking and
preaching and cussing and calling people whores.
Part of the problem is there are
all this shit. We want to hear that shit.
Part of the problem is there are people down there who are genuinely ill.
Why are they down there?
There's some people who are genuinely ill and need help. And you're saying, look, we want to get them off the streets, but we're going to put them in Tent City. Why don't you try to get them the care they need? Because I know for a fact that they'll be taking care of them. So why not go to that in Tent City? Because you don't want homeless people in institutions because you don't look at them as people.
And because somebody would actually have to do something. They'd actually have to get up off their ass, put paperwork in, I don't know, give them medicine, talk to them like they're human, something.
Like, man, I get irritated real fast. It irritates me. How many times I can knock his ass or something like that? Like,
he deteriorates, and he got kicked out yet.
There's a girl we...
3 o'clock in the morning. Preaching, talking shit, saying it, just throwing jabs at me.
And they won't
just so everybody can kind of get perspective, how long is it that you guys have been here? Like, I know, I'm sure it's different for everybody, but, you know, how long just has been...
2 years.
Probably a year and a half, yeah.
Unwillingly.
And during the time, have you seen it change? I'm sorry.
No.
It's gotten worse.
It's been times I don't want you to step.
No one's doing it.
There's times I want you to step and told him, get this dude, do something with this guy, because I'm ready to knock his ass out. And the same guy, what's his name? Was like, I'm proud of you, Rashad. Yeah, I'm surprised you had to knock him out. Do you go talk to him like something? Because I'm trying to say.
The staff is not equipped to deal with people who are mentally ill. They're not equipped to deal with us, quite frankly. So, if you have somebody who's incoherent, who is having delusions, who is clearly not rooted in reality, they don't have the tools necessary to deal with those people. So they shouldn't be here. But again, like I said, remember how in the beginning I said, whatever you think it is, it's not?
Right.
That was made very clear to me in the beginning that there was something wrong when they asked us to sign the form that was a release of liability.
Yes.
Saying that we won't sue for anything that would occur on the ground. But you can't really stand on that. And I get a weird feeling that there's some legalities around that where if they took a good look at that form, we can poke all kinds of holes through it. But they're going to try to hold people to that because they signed that form. Because one of the requirements for you to stay here is to sign that form. If you don't sign that form, they don't stay here.
It's just a form of coercion, right?
And that makes it totally illegal.
Yeah,
so it's like,
you can't
have up in the court
under duress for coercion.
Yeah, but they tell us, they
use
some of the things in that contract to like nail down as well. This is what it says in your contract. This is what you have to do. Okay, well, it also says in my contract that you have storage, that you have food. You know, there's things in there that you're not.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So
I know I'm going to lose my job.
I want to be very clear. Like the idea of I have so many bad things to say about the city, but I also have a lot of really good things to say about the city. But the idea of it was like
Genius.
It's genius. Like, I who else could be good? They have to fix it.
It has to go.
They have to go.
Yes.
Otherwise,
and then it needs to have
District change is a complete restructuring from the ground up.
Yes.
But the one thing that made me actually come was, and that stood out to me was, it's not traditional shelter.
Yeah,
that traditional stuck out to me so much because I refuse to go to all the way to the street.
Traditional shelter in San Diego is kind of important as well. I had to take my child, because my son is 8 now, but when he was 1, we were having a rough time then too, and I actually left the state for a while because of that, and I came back, which I regret. But we stayed at a couple of the shelters that were labeled as family shelters, or for women and children. And let me tell you something. Those need some complete restructuring. There's something wrong with the way that they move and that hurts animals.
Because that's how they do it. You know, I actually worry when you have planes to go over because I've had nightmares of them crashing planes into us to get rid of thousands of homeless people like that. That's how bad the attitude here is. And I've been to 25 different states. Never, ever have I been to a place that I actually want to leave because the people treat homeless people so bad. Even if I wasn't homeless, it was silly.
I'm naturally from Illinois, and the way that we treat homeless people there, as opposed to the way they treat homeless people here, is so it's so like night and day. Like, and I'm not gonna say it's everybody either, because I remember when I was staying at a hotel with somebody who,
I have water.
when I was staying with my abuser, and they finally got sick of abusing me, and they left me stranded at a hotel. I went to go stay at a 7-Eleven that was like kind of like adjacent to like the hotel. And I woke up to blankets on top of me and pairs of extra socks and like really cool. Like I was like, that is really hard. Like I cried when I woke up. So I was like, I don't want to be here, but this is the nicest thing that I think I've seen in general towards the homeless population. Like I didn't know there were people that are select to San Diego. So there are good people here, but the majority of people out here, the only thing they do is be a homeless person is isolate.
Yeah,
and that's pretty mild, and that's the lowest.
Leo, that's like Leo. Go down there. Preston took me around, and it's like they're there at City Hall at night, and he takes pictures of them being there and being gone. I'm like, they're not reflect reality. There's people something just died outside of the building the other day before you guys had a meeting, and it's like you literally have Downtown Partnership come and move them, so it looks like you
not even just that, but wherever you go, there are little tent cities, for lack of a better term, all over the place. One was in the riverbed. The riverbed's gone now, but I see one going from like Moreno Linda Vista to Statue Valley, and between there and right behind the line, you can see their tent cities. And let me just say this, those two cities are also some of the nicest people I've ever met. Some of the most grounded in reality, like down to earth, like amazing people I've ever met. But it's so sad for the reason that the guy like that doesn't have nothing. And it shouldn't take having nothing for people to be that kind. We have nothing, but we're sure all we have is the little all we have. And it's like, God,
The way that stuff is run here, the government and all that is crazy. I've been here for a year and a half, busting my butt. I haven't yet. I haven't been able to get one person to talk to me about it's expensive so much. Is there something around here that can like help me? I just need a little bit extra a month. Nope, not at all. I've had them tell me that I'm in these programs, and then come to find out after not putting in applications anywhere else because they said I was in this program, this program doesn't exist. Why am I still in a tent a year and a half later? I'm a female, I'm disabled, and I'm a survivor of domestic violence. How much more, what's the word I'm looking for?
at risk.
Yeah, at risk. Do I need to be? Yeah. And my score is a 16. It's the highest you can get.
Yeah, no, mine too.
Yet there's people that have only been in there for 2 weeks, don't have any money, do nothing, and they got housing.
It's literally like we're just winning the lottery. There's no actual structure as to how people are getting the housing. Like
it's not consistent. It's all over the place.
It is. It's very much like so my friend Cynthia, she has income and she gets out of social security disability. And she got housing, but she was out here for 2 years before that happened. And she had income the entire time. So income is not the problem. Part of the problem is that there's all these complexes, and they're putting up all these low-income houses that don't take the vouchers.
Because they're putting that,
like low-income houses. There's a complex that just went up in Hillcrest that the rent is $1,000 a month, but the first 2 months are free. They don't take the voucher.
And I applied for all these places before they were even open. I've applied for 7 places while they were still building.
And you know what application fees are in San Diego? There's an application fee, and then the holding fee, and then a double deposit.
It's like they're purposely making it to where people under a certain income can't live there.
Yeah.
Well, they're gentrifying everything. By the way, I want to say Barrio Logan did a great job. It's beautiful, but they pushed out so many wonderful people on their way up. People who had lived there for a long, long time because they can't afford to live there anymore. And it's like, I understand you want your city to be beautiful, you want to be something that people want to come and tour to. Yeah, but you're shoving everybody out.
Make it a visitor town, you know what I mean?
That's not what we want. People need to be able to live here.
It shouldn't be that you're drive people out at the cost of it looking good. You know what I mean? So that you're just make it look like shit so that we can all live it. I think it's okay. You know what I mean? But it's such a
What about the at city council meetings they bring up the affordable housing is the terminology they like to use, right?
No, there is affordable housing. Hold on, there is. Because I've been and toured several of them. I've been to and toured several, and they're nice, and some of them are really not that nice. Some of them are kind of
dude, I live in a closet at this point.
Well, yeah.
As long as I don't have to walk outside to go to the bathroom.
But the problem is with a lot of these affordable housing, you have to be below certain median income, which is fine. I get that. But if you meet those requirements, they're not offering requirements for hey, you can have a voucher. Because for example, this is kind of a little off topic a little bit, but just bear with me. I'm in an ACT program, which is a mental health program that I was referred to by Optum Health because I was in rehab and I was in rehab because I was having meltdowns all the time. I was not mentally well enough to be in rehab. But I referred to ACT, and ACT is who ultimately ended up housing me, not them. And the reason for that is because they have this SCS voucher. It comes through the Housing Commission, like all the other vouchers do, but it's a little different in their rules and terminology and all that. But not everywhere takes the voucher. So you can go to all the low income if you want to, but they're not taking these vouchers. They don't want homeless people in their community.
Well, and that's where I was kind of going with that. The lead up was just to make sure our terminology was about affordable housing. And so some of the cities are even putting restrictions where you have to be a resident to get the affordable housing, where they're saying, and don't take this wrong, I heard you're from Illinois, and so the question that a local would ask is, when did you move out here, right? Have you been here for 20?
Yeah.
Right.
My parents got divorced. He moved out here to live with my mom's mom, and that didn't go well, and all these other things happened. But as an adult, in my adulthood, I aged out of the foster care system in San Diego. So, yeah. So I was already at risk by their terminology. They have a kind of scale, and what goes up there comes with your trauma past. that gets your score up there. If you have any children, I do, that gets your score up there. How long you've been homeless.
Right.
The length of it, and you don't even want to be, like, you don't even want to tell them that you're a couch surfer because they count as out.
Right. Supported.
Dude, they even ask you to owe money to a drug dealer. That's on the housing. You owe money to a drug dealer. And if you do, that makes your score go up.
But the thing is, they're not actually using the at-risk scale to do anything.
Right.
Like it's like the affordable housing.
Well, I feel like I wonder if that's a way to get more money to be like, we have all these
Yes, it is.
people.
It absolutely
We
is.
have the documentation to show that.
Yeah.
Well,
They get extra money because they have at-risk
Right,
people.
right,
Get extra money
right.
for that.
Yeah,
The higher
you're
your
not
score-
doing anything for them, you're just making them get you more money.
The way that it should work is that the higher your score, the better it is for you to get housing faster.
Right.
But that's not how it works at all. It doesn't really work for anything other than their documentation to get their things that they want.
Data.
Because, like, let's say they're talking about San Diego. I live in Chula Vista. There's also
But the Greater San Diego area is under the same
the
umbrella.
county under that understanding, right? And so, like, are the resources being shared from county to county where if a resource opens up, are you able to go to Sacramento or something
no,
like
it's not
that?
in San Diego County. It's not County in San Diego. So this is Coldwater County. But anything above that line, it's a totally different, it's a whole different umbrella.
Because I'm sure people are wondering that, right? Like, why isn't that app or the system that you talk about where they're putting you in and finding the housing, why isn't that more interlinked county to county to support each other? Like,
And then I'm talking about the different vouchers. The different kind of vouchers, oh, this is my money. Okay, so like, there's something about a voucher that was select to a particular parking lot. They couldn't go anywhere else. You can match what they'll tell you when you get your grant. And some people, like my Cynthia, could only go to the senior, the low-income senior buildings that they matched her to.
right.
But then the other people who are being told, go pick an apartment.
Right.
It's being paid for. Go pick an apartment. That's what happened to me. They're like, go find somewhere to take this voucher and we'll house you.
And then on the opposite end of it, the housing isn't there, and then that's why you can't get the housing to use the voucher, or they don't accept it, or...
And then you have a little time limit too. Once you get the voucher, you have a time limit.
Right.
And if you don't find your housing within that limit, within that time limit, you lose your voucher. So it's like there's so many stipulations, and it's just like, how do you actually figure anyone's gonna get housed like this? Like genuinely.
They're not.
So
Their
the-
problem isn't actually, they don't actually care about the homeless community. What their concern is that it's an eyesore to the people who are coming in from out of town, it's an eyesore to the people who are paying these taxes, we're taking up taxpayer dollars, and it's like, that's the only thing you look at us as? We're people too. And quite frankly, if you look at us as people, we could probably be paying taxes too. We're down on our luck, we need a little bit of help. If you want to be a Christian so bad, give a little bit of fucking help. Because I don't know where the homeless and the needy became an eyesore before going to Christian. I just don't get it.
You're my fellow resident, countryman. We could say it so many different ways, but like my brother and my sister, right? And so I'm at a loss for words sometimes because I'm listening to the city, Chula Vista in this example, tell me all of this, how they're helping 150 people, and then I hear of 10,000 other stories, and the numbers don't make sense to what...
It's like this. They'll sit there and make a whole parade because they got 150 people off the street, right? And I'm not saying that that's not a great feat. It is. It's an incredibly hard thing to do, especially in San Diego. But it's hard to do anywhere in the United States. 150 people, how? Oh my God, that's incredible. But you're not looking at all those people you left behind. Yes, you got the job done. Thank God. Let's keep going.
And
the job's not done yet.
They're considering, they're taking the credit for housing people even if they just leave, if they get kicked out, and they're putting people that have no housing down the road or nothing. They're sticking in the hotels so that they can say that they have it.
Oh, here's the problem with that. The problem that's so before that was being done a lot by PAC.
Right.
PAC is whatever's going on with them, because they're under investigation. All of their people were handled with NAMI, which is weird to me because NAMI is the National Alliance for Mental Health. Okay? I don't understand how they got into housing the way that they are now. Because I remember when I was a kid and still in high school, I did a benefit with them where they were auctioning off kids' art that stayed in the building. So they auctioned it off. People bought this art, but then it stayed in the building to like be a monument to like all the money that they made for mental health. Right. So I don't know how you guys went from that to now you guys are the lead in housing. But how did that happen? They're putting people in hotels. Their sunset date for the program that is doing that is in June of this year. June 25th, 2026 is their sunset date. So they're basically telling people, we're trying to figure out how to get you housing before then, because if not, we don't know what to do with you. They've been very transparent.
In Chula Vista's shelter, you know, the hotel shelter, because they have the little...
Yes, hotels that are fully sheltered.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, like, this one's supposed to be 10 for veterans, and then the rest, however many it is, for everybody else. But the prospective timeline to be finished, because they're remodeling the whole thing, is still not till next year. And so, like, these conflicting timelines from your, you know, what you're saying with the education you have, compared to what we're being told as the residents, there's a gap in between the time where you're not going to have assistance.
The cabinet. And then the crazy thing, too, is that, like, for example, we're talking about the hotels, we put in hotels, right? There are hotels that did have dictated amount of rooms. They're like, okay, we're gonna slide these amount of rooms for the county program, and these are our rooms for regular people. There are hotels that no longer exist. It is fully county funded. Stay. Every room there is people who are being funded by the county. And I can name one room because I stayed there. The Howard Johnson in Chula Vista.
This is that's why I wanted. So I've heard a lot of people go to Chula Vista. Not trying to, you know, say I know everybody's story, but how long were you in Chula Vista for?
6 months.
And what type of help did the HOT team give you, or?
None. I was put there because, what's the name of that program? They're a third-party entity that works with the county, but it's not the county. I can't remember their name right now. For the life of me.
They had like a tent. One organization got taken out because they lapsed on their 501c3 or whatever.
Oh, yeah, 401c3 is important.
Whatever
that was certified as a nonprofit.
Right. So whatever their situation, they got pulled out from helping. They still continue to deliver food and help the community in ways that they can. I know a couple of them.
But they're funding apples.
I'm sorry?
But they're funding apples.
Right, exactly. And so into the same program, the other group that took over, now they have less funding, but the police department got increased funding for the HOT team, like on the enforcement side, or that side.
To me, because like, how are you enforcing?
I'd like to know how. Okay, this is how much of a job they're not doing. Shitloads of people that I actually went downtown to speak with them and was told, you're getting the help that you need through your caseworker. Your caseworker needs to come down here. So my caseworker tried to call for 2 months. She could never get a hold of it. I'm still in a tent.
You're a nominee case manager?
I don't have a nominee case manager.
Oh, okay.
I'm still in a tent. Nothing's been done about that. Everybody around me is in a hotel, even though there's no project of housing or anything like that. When I ask, can somebody help me? Like, can somebody put me in a motel? You know, I'm sick.
I wonder.
I'm wondering if somebody can drop the ball.
Here's what happens here. Let's say, boom. Okay, boom, today you're homeless, right? They're going to tell you that the only way you can get resources is to go through 211. 211 can refer you to Pat, who is currently closed, because they're under investigation.
Pat, I'm going to
send you
to new client.
My NAMI case manager has 40 people in her caseload. 40. And that's not counting the people who are technically a couple. Today is 40 individual cases. So for those who are couples, there's that many more people. Okay? So I don't really know how many people she actually deals on a day-to-day basis. But that's my personal case manager. Okay? And then on top of that, they cut what they were actually funding. So they're no longer doing security deposits, from what I understand. What else are they not doing? Oh my God. I'll tell you what they are doing. They're doing bus passes. They're doing phones.
I asked for a bus pass.
They're not doing security deposits for the apartment. The list got marked down to 5 things. And I got and the person who told me this was my old case manager before he either left or was fired. I don't know what his deal is. But before he left or was fired, he should have told me, hey, listen, I know that we said we would do this for you, we're going to your apartment. They're supposed to send me to trucking school.
Right.
Because that's what I want to do in my life. I'm a felon, so it's really hard for me to get employment. And I have gaps in my employment due to COVID and other things, like being a mom. And not a lot of employers are like keen to that. They're like, well, you haven't worked this many years, you're not really fine. So, truck drivers seem like the thing. They promised me, the only reason I started working with them in the first place is because they were going to fund me going to trucking school. Their funding got reestablished, so they didn't get cut, but what they could spend on got changed. So they no longer send me to trucking school. They can't do anything to help you with your education, which is dumb, because if your education is how you're going to get stable enough to get housing, why is it not being funded?
Right.
There are those of us who are willing to dig our way out from the ground up. I'm able-bodied. Okay, I'm 30. I have one 8-year-old, and he's the love of my life. And all I need is a little bit of help. And they promised to fund me, and then told me, well, we can't do that anymore. What we can do is we can get you a welcome package to your apartment. I can get you a monthly bus pass. I can get you a phone. They already have that. They're like, okay. Well, if you ever need one, I still have that for you. And then they ripped me out of Tent City to put me in a hotel with no actual idea of how long I was going to be there initially. They're like, you're not in a 3-dimensional hotel. They're doing it because of what it looks like, what the optics are. Well, you just have to nominate case manager first and foremost.
I tried.
But getting a nominate case manager is literally, like I said, the way to get a nominate case manager is you have to call 211. 211 has to link you to Pat, who is no longer actually in operation, and then Pat sends you the nom. And the timeline looks like anywhere between 2 to 3, sometimes 4 months. Before you actually get to nom.
All it is just a big fat fucking circle. They pawn you off with somebody else so that they don't have to do it.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm thinking. If you put those people in hotels and they have to leave at some point, they just come right back. I mean, you mark them as a new client.
Their sunset date is June, and I'm already prepared to come back to the city.
You know what? I have to say something before. I know we got way off. Change. Well, there is a case manager down there who busts his ass. He is respected. People down there listen to him. He was passed over to be boss. Over Beatrice Dogfield. Over Dogfield. Catfield, sorry. I had a look at the program that he was wanting to put in there, and it's actually amazing. The program that he has would make it to where there's actual communication between the clients and the caseworkers, if the caseworkers would pick up on the program. I'm not sure if they're going to pick it up. He's asked for a meeting with them.
Are you talking about Leah? He works there right now.
Yeah, he's my kid.
And some of this is to hear this for people so they can know okay, why is that one good person someone you trust? And then how do they get the system to then listen to him since he's on the inside?
Because he's not judgmental. He genuinely wants to help. He goes out of his way. Okay, what do you need today? What can I do right at this moment to take away that panic look in your face? You know, what can I... do you feel like
I don't know.
He's been through.
If not that person has been homeless, he's had enough interactions or had it affected his life in a way where he has just the right amount of compassion. Where he still needs to do his job, but he understands that to be a leader, you have to lead his passion.
And you're not going to treat people like a number.
He doesn't treat us like crap. You know, he makes time for every single. I don't know how he does it. Even if it's just 3 minutes to talk to you, he will come to your tent. How are you doing today? Is there anything that we need to do? And he's been here a while and hasn't been turned. I call it being turned. Which is what happens. They can come down here and be normal human beings, but then 2 weeks later, power hit off. You're not telling me what to do. I am 54 years old, okay? Just because I'm down here does not, I don't need, you still have to respect me as a human being, you know? Just because I'm down here, I don't need that. That's not, oh, you have to.
And by giving someone the credit they're due isn't to take away from your situation. Is there anything you want to end with? I want to give you guys a last, statement or something that I, you know what I mean? And,
Okay. Yeah, I think a big major thing would be that, again, whatever you think that it is, it's not. But Tent City, as an idea, was one of the most marvelous ideas somebody came up with. As an idea, it could have helped thousands and thousands of people. The problem is, we're being given case managers that genuinely do not have the power to do anything but babysit us. And the ones that know how to use the power that they do have are very few and far between.
And they don't get to do anything.
They don't.
They're not in a position to where they get to use the skills that they do have to help us. They shouldn't just pick them up off the street and say, here's a job. Right. They need sensitivity training. There's things that they should have to do to deal with this.
One of the prerequisites for having this job should be that you want to help people. If you are not here to help, why are you here?
What they do is they do community service because they got in trouble.
Yeah.
Come down here and do community service, and then they hire them.
Yeah.
That's how they do that.
I have a friend, and I hope he's not going to hate me for this. I have a friend who works here, who used to live here named Honda. And, I love Honda to death. I swear. But Honda at one point didn't have either. She was homeless as well. And she worked her way and finally got matched and got her a place, and then she came back here to work. And she's been one of the most instrumental. She's one of the night staff, though. So she's oh my God.
They fired her.
I believe that. I fully believe that.
You know why?
Yeah. I can guess. Because so I came down to Cincinnati to visit one time. She straight up came walk up to me. She's like, my boss is on my house right now. You cannot be here. Because they have a rule that says that if you don't live here, you can't be down there. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if you match. Doesn't matter if you got kicked out. Doesn't matter if you left. If you don't live here, you can't be here. It's crazy. There's people who got matched who are doing all this community.
Definitely, yes. Most of them are
really and then you put them in the front why do you know? And by the way, I've been part of this. I lost my housing because I had people living in and out of my apartment where and people thought I was being trafficking out of my apartment.
You know, I had an idea that I brought to them, and I was like, there's little groups of 3 or 4 people that wouldn't mind moving in with each other. Why don't you buy an apartment complex and say, okay, you get your apartment, or even who you want to live with,
or even a really large house. I was like, I had a what was his name from Pat? Yep. What was his name from Pat? Our worker. Yeah.
He's the last one.
I shit you not. I can't remember his name right now, but I want to thank you. You know who you are. As my past worker, he was the one who he tried to say. He's like, listen, I know so many of you guys know each other. I got permission from my boss to put you guys. If you guys can find a house and a couple of y'all got a room to live together, we'll house you.
That's perfect. So many people.
That's what Pat has the funding to do. But instead of doing that, they did the stupid fuck shit they did, and then they got defunded. You see what I'm saying? Pat had an enormous amount of power, and they didn't get the same power. They did not get the same funding or power to NAMI. NAMI had to allocate a whole different system, a whole different umbrella of funding, all of that. Totally separate from then they just hand over the clients and said, here, figure it out.
I just wondered, from the jail system to the halfway houses, and then in the difference that these individuals, and I'm trying to say this lightly, had committed a crime, but served their time to the community, and they're back into society, and they're giving a leg up, if you will, in comparison to people who haven't or are struggling, and then they can set up these halfway houses for them to transition. But
whereas I can't tell you how many people I know that get out of jail after serving 8 years and can't find shit.
Right.
There's not enough halfway houses to house all these people.
That's what it says. People who are getting out of prison for reentry. The manatees were supposed to be doing. How is he not the boss? How did you put some woman who steals cats and dogs in charge?
And why?
I think it's because she can be controlled.
To be honest with you, I feel there's only one reason I can think of why they put Erin in charge. Because quite frankly, Erin was the most volatile human being. Like I want to throw up right now. She's just the meanest person I've ever met, and it just doesn't make any sense. There's a way to get your job done without being a total biatch. And I don't even care if he sees us here. There's a way to get your job done. There's a way to get the aisles clean, and people get their shoes clean, and people don't fight without you being a total biatch to get it done.
They even ruined people's things. Like there's a couple of people that had nice sunsets around.
Oh yeah,
they had grass,
gorgeous
flowers, stuff like that.
Really,
they came home and all their shit was gone. Like, why would you do that?
They ripped it out of the ground and got rid of it.
Well, because imagine if there was like a bunch of little tiny homes, you could have a community garden, you could have a whole lot of stuff, right?
And
it was like
everyone
everyone,
homeless.
Right.
but it's like there's no money in
that. That's why right now there's these little tiny homes that are being built. They're like they're a little bit bigger than like those like she sheds you see.
Yeah.
They're a little bit bigger than that. They're only one bedroom, and the bedroom doesn't really get cut off. Like the bedroom and the living room kind of share space, but it's like split by this bar that the TVs are.
Okay.
And and they come fully furnished. The problem is the city doesn't have the zoning for it yet.
Well, what's the problem is too is that even those tiny little like shack things, like
not the ones I'm talking about. Not the ones I'm talking about.
Are you sure? My sister bought one for $7,000.
The one I'm talking about, it's still a couple $1,000. It's bad, but it's less than $10,000 to get but they're trying to find the city zoning for it because they have to be someone to use. Yeah.
Okay, so they're trying to put those all over where people put it on their property, right?
Yeah.
And then they can sell them and stuff like
or
that.
they're trying to zone out, which they're finding difficult because the people who have these massive amounts of land behind their houses that no one owns because it belongs to the city, they don't want that zoned for new housing.
Right.
I literally read articles of people saying we don't want that in our backyard.
Right. Yeah.
We have beautiful this and beautiful that, and you're ruining the environment. This is everything. People need housing.
Yeah, they pretend to save the planet.
They're bitching about the homeless shit. They don't want to do anything.
No. Well, because
they want to
if it goes away, that's the new cash. That's my whole thing. I said that's the new cash cow.
Yeah.
And I wrote a letter to the lawyer about that.
Yeah. I mean, there are people who genuinely think they want to help, but the majority of the people, they don't actually want anything. They don't want to be a part of the solution. They just want to disappear.
Yeah, or to hide it and be like, it's not, there's nothing wrong. Like Todd Gloria being like, look, there's no one here. It's like, you just moved him out at 6 a.m. this morning.
Yeah. Every morning they text this shit. Yeah. I did that when I was 19. I had to do that. I was downtown staying, oh God, what is that street? Oh God, I can't even think of it. But it's close to 12th and Imperial, and there's businesses all along that area. And at nighttime, the business owners were very clear. I will call company, not gone by the time I open, but I'm not here anymore.
So if you stay.
If you stay, you stay. Don't trash the place.
Right.
That was the only thing. And then that got ruined because people still trash the place, so eventually he stopped doing that. But there's one thing. Not all homeless people are like us, so I get it. But I also don't get it, because how could you lack that much compassion for another human being? Just the other day, me and my friends are also homeless, mind you. We're being housed at a hotel by NAMI right now. My friend brought a pack of cigarettes. We saw a guy sleeping on the floor in front of the 7-Eleven. This is Hillcrest area. Okay, so now even Hillcrest has their homeless. Okay? She gave him a cigarette to lit it for him, and she gave him this. She said, here's this for you. Top of line. He goes, yes, I do. Thank you, sir. People just need to be more compassionate. You don't have much to share what you have. And for those who have much, why are you not sharing it? There's no reason why people should be fucking Mark Zuckerberg rich and not sharing it. It makes no sense. You don't even know what to do with that kind of money, which is why you got to rape little kids. You're bored.
Well, that's all.
Spend some time doing an act of service.
Money is the root of all evil.
The love of money is the root of all evil.
Yes.
Money's a tool.
It sure is.
Which is used the right way.
Correct. But right, it's the root of the evil.
But biblically, it says the love of money is the root of all evil.
Correct. So, do you know, did they, here, I don't know. I need to find out.
I kind of hope they did, and that there's just some restructuring, and it's gonna happen. The problem is there's so much shit has already happened that even when the change starts, there's gonna be pushback. Because people are gonna believe that it is. Look, where's being pushed back? Because every time you guys present a change to us and say that this is what it is, it ends up being something completely different.
Yeah.
So when change finally does come and it's a positive change, it's still gonna receive pushback. Because people are so used and just so done with, oh my God, this is like new now, this is the new thing of the week. So you're gonna receive the pushback, but the people who are coming, who I hope they instrument new people with new mindsets, new goals, and new abilities. Because quite frankly, like I said, the majority back down there, they don't have actual power to house you. They don't. That's why it was said by whoever it was that we don't house people. They don't. That's not their job.
Okay, you know what? They don't even help. They don't even help with the housing. Okay,
They're supposed to.
The only thing that I've gotten in a year and a half, and this is, mind you, okay, me and my wife came together. They ended up kicking her out. Because she strangled me.
Yeah.
Okay. Since that day, they've not wanted to hear me. Aaron got me to talk to Crisis House. Problem is, yeah, they'll pay my rent and they'll pay the security deposit, but I have not, and I get $1,200 a month is what I get. And then I cannot work. I'm completely disabled. That's all I get. That's all I'm going to get.
And then there are problems. There are problems with places like, or with programs like Rapid Housing. I love the idea of that. This problem, they keep background where we're gonna pay rent for the next year, but here's the thing: over that year, one person's gonna have to pay the full expenditure of the rent. But you put me in a $22.50 apartment, it costs $22.50 a month to live here. I can't afford that on my own.
But I can't do that, and I refuse.
And there are jobs that are not willing to hire people who've been homeless for a certain period of time. Because while I was homeless, I wasn't working. There's a gap in my employment. And places in San Diego are very weird about gaps in employment. Like, there needs to be a complete umbrella of things that needs to change in order for this to really work. There's these employment places there's employment that are willing to hire you based on what you actually know how to do, not necessarily your history.
Do you realize that you would have to completely reorganize and get rid of every single person?
But that's why I'm saying
for that to happen.
No, not necessarily. But here's but that's part of what I'm saying is because I don't know who's gonna see this, who's gonna hear this, and who's gonna reach. People need to be willing to hire people based on their skills. There's so many people I know that are so talented. People who are teachers, doctors, nurses. Like one of my closest friends, Alan. He was teaching for college. He just ended up down on his luck because he was a substitute teacher. Which means his checks are not consistent. Right. One paycheck away, my guy. You know what I mean? So it's like, if people were more willing to put themselves in our shoes and walk a day, and just walk, don't even walk a day, walk a mile in my shoes.
Yeah.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Yeah, I have great rental history. I was married for 25 years, and in those 25 years, I was the one that paid all bills. She never worked, anything like that.
Yeah,
my rental history is great. My credit is not great because while I was paying the bills, she was buying all kinds of stuff and not paying it. I mean, I was in really bad. But so I have great rental history. I can afford, to live in like $1,000 a month. Why isn't there somebody who's willing to lower their rent $300 to get a tenant who wants to be there, who's going to take care of the place, who has great rental history? There's no risk factors with me. I can't get a single person to even just talk to me. And as soon as I put down, because I've been here for a year and a half, so I've got that major gap. So I have to put something there, and I'm not a very good liar. I'm not going to start off with lying, saying, okay, I live here. So I told everybody that I live down there, and that's city. I say, things have changed. Right. Hoping that they don't know what it is, but then they figure it out, and then I don't know. Even though before that, they were all excited. Oh, yeah, it's great. And then I tell them how much it is. This is security space. We're going to improve it, probably. Here's my rental business before here. I have wonderful. I got everything. Positive everything.
And I hope you know I want to still hear more. Like, this isn't our last conversation, and I encourage others to look more into everything that you've brought up, so that way when we do have our next conversation, or other people find what they find, that they can share that information, and we can come back and maybe on a one-on-one and get more like in detail to like your specific situation, and try to raise awareness. Because obviously today we want to raise awareness for everybody, but like specifically on a level like Audra and I, we do interviews, individually, and we want to let people know what your story is and see.
I love that.
See if
I
there's
really
way.
love that because even after getting housed, I lost my housing because of the community they put me in and the these homeless people. I was housed in Mission Valley, which is a lovely area. I absolutely loved it. And my first initial thought was, I don't feel like I belong here, and that was part of the problem. I felt like I didn't belong there, and they felt there. But I belong there as much as any working person does. Because I'm willing to do those things. So it's like, I had people from Tent City coming, and I had an open door policy, which is probably not wise. I wish I would have known this. In hindsight. But I had an open door policy. When people call me at 3 in the morning and be like, hey, Chris, I need to take a shower. I really want to cook something. And my rule about cooking in my kitchen was, if you make me a plate, my house is your house. So people call me at 3 in the morning, Crystal, I really need to take a shower. Crystal, I'm hungry. I have food. And I get out of bed, roll over, all right, come on. That caused so many problems to the point where people made up lies on me saying I was keeping trafficking out of my apartment. Just get me out.
And see, that's how much
and then I got pushed out, and then I got pushed out, and told, hey, by the way, we're gonna take you to eviction court, but if you lose in eviction court because you have a voucher and the way that the housing commission is set up, if you get evicted while you're with the housing commission, you no longer have a voucher, you can no longer be with the housing commission. So I could either fight them in court on what they said about me, even though I know it's not true, and risk losing my voucher, or which I did anyway because there's no move clause in my voucher, or I could back my hands out carefully and have that opportunity to reapply for the voucher, which I'm doing. But I still have to work with my housing coordinator to get that done. And ain't no telling how long it's going to take because I applied for that 2 years ago, and I just got it a year ago. So I mean, a whole year had gone by before the actual voucher clicked for me, and they were like, hey, you've been matched. And I was like, how? That's how I know how they're working with Clarity works. Then I found out that ACT works on Clarity. PATH works on Clarity. What are some of the other housing programs? Any housing program you can name, they all work with Clarity. And it's all the same system, and they all have the same criteria, and they all get the same information. So, God, I almost really want to get housed so I can work in this field because, I feel like I'd be so good at helping people with it. You know what I mean? Because I've been there. Right.
With education, and me going to meetings, I've learned so much to be able to help my community for what I'm in no better situation. My parents helped me, right? And I would be in your situation if I didn't have them. And so, every day, and it's but I would be in the same exact, and so if we can extrapolate how even me or other friends of mine, we're housed, but we're not doing any better, we're getting help, and so, but because of, it seems like there's a disconnect in that we need help, but so do you, right?
I think part of the problem is, the biggest part of the problem is people keep forgetting, again, you are one paycheck away from being me, my friend. One paycheck. You miss one check this month, or you don't get that one sales call. Because I can't tell you after jobs, how many of these jobs end up being sales in San Diego. Oh my God. Sales is the biggest thing going in San Diego right now. I hate it. I'd be good at sales, but I wouldn't be good at sales because I don't have the drive to want to go do sales. I'm a people person, so that makes me good at it. But I don't have the drive to want to be your top performer. I'm not. That's just not my thing.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like you want to help people more than make money in that example.
I think I'd be happier in a position where I can help people. Yeah.
And that's kind of where we fall is too. I'm not paid to be here. Just to let you guys know. This is just what we want to do.
I think if people just really, I think some of the people are also ignorant to it. a lack of compassion is a problem, yes. But there's people who genuinely don't know what they just don't know. And it's been hidden from them. Some people are sheltered and in ways that they don't realize.
They see the homeless people that are rude.
And then they put a label on it.
They never know I'm homeless.
Right. It's just like they
never would know.
Just like homelessness has now become racist. You know what I mean?
Right.
People are completely derogatory to homeless people, and it's just like, dude, you could be me tomorrow.
Right.
Donald Trump is making it very close that a lot of us are going to be like this tomorrow. So it's like, I just wish that something, anything,
You're pushing out people
just
who
one
actually
thing.
contribute to their community to make it better.
Yeah.
I'm leaving San Diego, and this was my dream to live here. So now I get to die somewhere where I didn't want to be. I wanted to be here. I love San Diego. It's beautiful.
If you ever look at
But I have to leave because I just don't like the way people really treat me.
Yeah.
And that's awful. That's awful that I don't get to be happy in my old age. Because I've been through hell to get here.
I just really appreciate, you being willing to talk, after day with Joan. I was like, I'm hoping that people will come and we can, bring life to it.
Anybody else who still have a thing?
I just kind of,
I know. But you guys, so did you actually reach out to them?
I reached out.
You reached out to
I reached out to
social media.
that and I saw one of your videos where
Oh, okay.
about Dreams for Change.
Yeah, that was on our way in. Yeah.
I was trying to get a hold of I was trying to get a hold of anybody. And I know I'm going to do this.
There goes the police car.
I'm going to find out what happened.
Get their number from Bill.
I don't know. I don't go there. I've been in the tent and I've been into
Let me mute up if you guys are going to do We're live. We're live.
Okay, so,
She resembled Keenan's grandma.
Right.
you want to do that? Yeah, so, oh no. Well, what would you like? What's your name?
My name's Colin Moore.
And you live here?
Yes.
It's currently, how long have you been here?
I've been here for a year. Since last April.
What would you like to say about what your experience has been?
Well, in the beginning I was excited because, of course, I was getting off the street. And it was the first time I've ever been on the street. So, coming here and having a roof over my head was just delightful. And I was sleeping again and not getting my stuff stolen again. I mean, every night. I mean, on the streets, it felt like every time I went to sleep, somebody was stealing my shit. And coming here, there was like the safe zone, you know, getting into it was nice and beautiful. And then, it just seemed to stay the same the whole year. It didn't progress as much as I thought it could. Like, there's maybe a lot more things, like, activity-wise. Like, a lot of people just are down there and stay down there and don't do anything else. And, well, if they're going to stay down there, why don't we have, like, some volunteer yoga instructor from the college campus or something director type something and teach yoga a couple times a week, or something like Tai Chi or art, or people more active, maybe more motivated also for the health and training. It's just I would like to see that more with it staying the same and us losing like electricity functions and leaving the 10 o'clock. Like, I've heard of people losing their jobs over that, like, because they weren't able to charge their phone enough to get their alarm to go off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So stuff like that kind of makes you feel like a little 18-year-old in there. But like, I don't know what's up with the money thing. I don't know how much money is donated to this kind of foundation.
A lot.
Yeah, see, I think there could be buildings that could be put up, small little buildings.
Yeah, little tiny homes.
With like, even if it's a recreational activity building with lockers in it for all of us, to have those lockers,
Right.
you know, to be able to charge our stuff and not worry about people stealing it if we have to go to the bathroom.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And other than that, like, I could probably talk a little bit about staff always changing up. It gets confusing, and it seems like it's a new person at being the first time case manager every time, and
So you don't lose any of it, like you're starting over constantly.
Exactly.
That's a lot.
Frustrating.
Yeah. What about the food? I mean, they're not giving you anything that's edible.
I've never had food poisoning as bad as I've had it here.
Oh, really? Oh, God. Well, that's good.
So,
I've never had food. Oh,
like,
wow.
honestly, I've never had food poisoning from chicken, and I'm pretty sure all 3 times that I had it, it was, sorry to be like expressive about this, but out of both ends.
Oh, wow.
For 2 days.
Oh, wow.
Like,
and then how do you do
I
that?
almost felt like death.
I bet.
It was bad.
Like, and you have to use the porta potties at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hanging out there is rat city.
Right.
And that's sketchy. The rats, I mean, are ridiculous down there. And the mold is bad.
The showers, do you use the showers?
Yeah, showers. I mean, I work in the showers, you know, because there's always that one person that's got to fuck it up forever, you know, like, take a shit in there, or like, steal all the shower heads. It's ridiculous, the childish shit that goes on there, but, other, like, super thankful for that, the showers, you know, super thankful for the touch over my head, so, it could just be progressing. I see it not progressing, and
right. It could be really good for people. I mean, it has the potential. It's a great spot, even though it's a crappy spot because of the planes and it's right by the freeway. But there's a lot of property there, and they could do a lot with people instead of just keeping them in a perpetual state of chaos. Like, it's as if they're just further abusing you guys when you need help. You just need that extra little hand up, and they're just like kind of just stomping on you on the way. You know what I mean?
Kicking people out.
Yeah.
For sure. There's a lot of that going on, and it's like you know,
Yeah, and that's, I'd say 90% of the problem.
Right.
Nobody wants to see it.
Well, but they'll give you tests for the drugs, right?
They
They'll
will.
give you types of needles
Our
or
healthcare is based off it.
Yeah.
If they find out we're addicts,
they
they
give
focus
you
more on addiction
keeping
than they
you
do
addicted.
than they do even us recovering. They focus on our drug addiction more than they do our health or anything else.
Right.
Yeah, they be pointing on it and hit people out, and it's like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They need to focus on other things and bettering our drug addiction problem.
Right. Well, and mental health is as if they like make your mental health worse than it is.
The mental health situation we have now, I mean,
Anxious. Everybody's anxious.
clinical people go to the state hospital or whatever, intense, multiple personalities, fully embracing their moments.
Oh yeah.
We live next door.
I've had to hose one of them with pepper spray one time. Like it was I have now multiple times. You guys came to our community, like around this area, and every night you would be like screaming and yelling at us, like you're gonna get us, and we're stealing his data on his phone and his ideas on his phone, and we just couldn't say anything to change his mind on it. So I told staff, dude, this is escalating. If you guys don't do something about it, I'm gonna have to do something about it. And they are over it. They're over it. The security don't do nothing. I don't even know if the security is real security. Like it's jokes, and people are taking advantage of it. Like this guy totally flipped the lid one day, started stabbing holes through everybody's tent.
One of the security?
No, one of the dudes. The dude that I was telling them about that was creating problems. And then he came up to my door, and I was watching 2 puppies, and he started kicking at the puppies and dragging them inside, and I checked in one of the check and grabbed my mace and I hosed the whole tent area, and you know what? It was a necessary thing though. Like they took away the mace, which I was like, okay, like that saved everything. Like he's gone now, and everybody's able to go back to sleep again. Like, what do you mean you're taking away what just saves all of us? Like, I don't know where your heads are at, guys, but maybe we should all have pepper spray inside of our shit. Like, you know what I mean? Because we have a knife and that's this thing, right? This is yeah, so we're in a knife and talking shit to everybody walking by. Like, who are these people that are able to get in here every night? Like, checking out, like, could there be a spot where there's mental disability problems, and then there's the regular, really, like, homeless, maybe to 90%, like he was saying, and us kind of separated, because it is sketchy what these people do. Like, I know,
My wife had a time that I just told him to pull a lock and chain on her. I told her she was going to beat her up.
yeah, dude, it's random, it's sketchy every once in a while, and we're not allowed to have any kind of nothing to protect ourselves with. So if we're not allowed to have any of that, then the security needs to step up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
When you go and complain to on-site, which is a courtesy patrol, I guess, they're real resistant. They don't want to go deal with it. I guess they're afraid of what's going to happen to them.
Right.
Right. That's where the security thing comes to play. Like, are they even real security guards?
Right. Are you just there to be a gatekeeper of anything being fixed? You know what I mean? To just keep it stifled and not bring it to the surface. And
Right.
They work really hard to do that, which I find super egregious, because it's like, instead of doing something about that, as it's called, just off the plate, you want to silence it.
Right.
And that just shows that that's a problem. It's obvious that people are dying. It shouldn't just be like, oh God, we got to cover that up. Oh gosh, don't let anybody talk about it. Like segregating people and saying that you can't even talk about it. Yeah. And it's like, God, this is great. Damage is very, right?
that it's hard for them to just stick with one thing, because then all of a sudden somebody's like, this guy just threw a bunch of fucking dinner inside my tent at me, and then they have to go to the
Right, go deal with it.
and there's some stuff
A lot
that
of
they just kind of go,
Yeah, they don't even know. They're just like overwhelmed probably because they don't even know what to do. There's like nothing they can do. They're just hearing it, and it's like, where are the options of like what to do about this, right? I mean, I even think of like the police were just driving in and out of here. What was that all about? You know what I mean?
When they show up, they don't even know it's either.
Right.
You can tell they don't want to be there. They don't want to come on the property. They don't want to know where we're at. They do because they have to do their job. But they're very resistant to that.
yeah, you better be confident for a reason.
Right. Right.
They don't want to. They don't want to come get us. So they don't want to walk the back.
Yeah, which is not. I mean.
Yeah, they do.
Well, I appreciate you guys, and I'm here. You have my contact, so like if you guys keep reaching out, and I'd like to do this again. You know, because then I think that it would be good for us to all go to the city council and start telling them personal stories so that they can sit here and listen. Because I go up and tell them, and they laugh at me.
Right.
And I'm just like, yeah. But I mean, when you guys come and share, it's like it brings a whole other. Where they're going to have to do something. They should be auditing it. Right now, they're trying to audit it. Homeless solution thing they got, and I'm like, sure, it fits inside of that, but I'm saying I want you to audit Tent City. I want you to audit Dreams for Change. I want you to audit Downtown Partnership because you guys are not doing what you claim to be, and people shouldn't be suffering, and you should not be giving them more money.
I don't know the rumors I'm hearing. The amount of money that's coming in is not being shown any kind of care to us.
Oh no, and Teresa did it in New Home.
Right.
All these guys are getting new cars.
Yeah.
She could put money into the new money she put over for the rain. Everybody's beach all over.
Right. But they can afford the fence too. It's like, fence? What are you trying to make people feel like they're in prison? They can't even get out. If there's a fire, where the fuck do you go?
Dude, that part right there.
We
had a fire.
We
had a fire, and to get everybody to get up and leave just by to one direction was everybody was like, fuck that.
Well, the tent.
Got told by Aaron that we did that very poorly.
Well, thanks for letting us know. There should be some kind of, hey, listen, we'll do it. This is what happens if there's a fire. This is what we need to do. Right? Like you do it at school, right? With kids, right?
And where are the emergency exits?
What do you do?
Yeah. Emergency exits. Right. Where's the card entrance at the gate too? Because the gate is a simple way to get to them.
Right.
Not this 5-mile trek around the center.
Yeah.
You know?
It's the worst design.
I mean, it's a legal way to go too, because it's by hand and walking in. It's
intentionally done.
Cool. That's awesome.
My name's Robert.
Robert Collins.
Colin, nice to meet you. Pleasure. It's it's a tough situation. We're here to, help tell your story and if we can reach out to you. That's the goal of this.
I really appreciate it.
Today we wanted to, get a group of people here to also show support, and I know that there's more to come from this. So I just want to tell you, we're all behind you.
That's right.
It's a good team effort, so that's why I think in the bigger, when everybody sees things, that's going to make the bigger change. So.
You guys know about May 7th? The court deal.
No.
There's a court hearing on May 7th about Bullock.
Okay.
And it's at the main courthouse in downtown.
Do you know the case?
Or wait,
why are you
did I say 7:30? Or what did I say? It's 7th, May 7th. At 9:30.
At 9:30. Okay.
And it's a bring your ID and come show up if you want to be a part of it. May 7th.
But I was like, I should probably want to do.
I'll look it up. I'm sure I'll go look about it, but
okay, so
I'll reminder. I got my audio running just in case too, so I can.
Yeah, I mean it's very important that as many of us need to show up as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
We're living in a world that is so void of that, and it's anything living, whether it's animals, children, elderly, homeless, freaking you know, anything under the sun that they can exploit, they do, and that's why it's like, people need to wake up to that. You know, because I feel like we're all, like, people kind of just go about their day and they don't really understand, you know, especially when they go and clean up downtown. Like, we fixed the problem. No, you didn't.
No.
You're a fucking liar, dude.
Yeah. The people are pissed off too. They're like, where are my homeless people?
Yeah.
Like, I'm here to, this is my church right now, it's food to feed all these people that aren't here anymore.
Right. Where'd they go? Because they shuffle you guys around, especially if there's some
And then they don't let them here.
Yeah.
Unless you have to sign all these things to be able to, I mean, it seems ridiculous.
And that in itself is like, okay, so you know you're going to do something nefarious and you just want me to not have any ability to do anything, which I would say that would be a contract that would be null and void because you were doing it under duress and coercion and threat. Right? So it's null and void. So sure, I'll sign it, but it's no good nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to get interviewed, you know what I mean? And they know that. They know people really need help, so they're just like, they'll do whatever. Some young kids, and they're not just saying anything, because they want it. Like, fuck that, you know? And it's like, yeah. Like, seriously. For sure. I would say that.
Definitely a prep for maybe future, I don't know, Armageddon.
I do. That's why I'm like,
Population control.
it doesn't get burned down by you guys. Like, burn the fucking thing down. You know what I mean? But,
I've had we've had the conversation before, you know?
Not at the cost of anybody's life.
No, but like,
Fuck them.
holy shit, dude, you guys need to start stepping up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you guys don't give a fuck? Okay, you're gonna send me and my little baby boy out on the streets just because you're safe?
Right.
Okay. Let's fucking sit down and think about what you're doing real quick before I bring the police into it. And I'll be showing up every day so you let me back in. And it is, they let me back in day 3, but it was all false accusations, it was all fucking hearsay on somebody else's fault. Like, somebody that I had a problem with, one of my neighbors, known troublemaker, known liar, known just bad sociopath. A labelized sociopath by her therapist. And they went by her word. It was really weird. But it's all fixed now, and everybody's happy to have me back, so, yeah.
Well, hopefully we can make some change here. I appreciate you guys. I look forward to talking to you. Tell everybody I said thank you.
Yeah. Real shit.
So, God bless you guys.
God bless you guys, too.
Well, you'll hear us.
Awesome.
And the police are sitting right there. I'm going to go ask them.
When do we get to see you guys?
I know, right? Or that's what I'm saying.
Go on mute. So nice.
Alright, so you guys, got a little taste of what's really been going on in that tent city, and what isn't happening, what should be happening. But we're going to walk down here to
Probably hitting buttons.
To the entrance. One of the entrances, like I said, the other one is like, I think it's Welch, it might be, but it's just the street over. If you go down Park, you go like the next, just right on the other side of this building, and then you go all the way down. It's like a little bit further of a trek, but it goes to the security base as well. And these parking lots down here, there's a bridge, and it goes to so people park there. There's an entrance that we were mentioning before that you can go and kind of get in from a different way, but they're supposed to tie it in when they get in here. Not through the security, but going down like a hill. It's quite a trek in, actually. That's why it's a good spot, but it's not. But there should be more convenience as far as being able to just navigate the area. They do have people that will be picked up over by the Jack in the Box downtown, and they come over here and have their little shuttle that they have. You go, you drop off there, and then you pick up and you brought here. But the staff or the security is definitely not going to be willing to let us put on the tent, play this game for a minute. Give us any information. You never know, but they probably have already been warned as well that we are here. Obviously, I'm going to post this online. They follow my stuff.
I sent it to the police department too.
Right. So yeah, that's good.
We always inform them what we're doing.
And if we don't, they know because they'll follow my stuff. Remember when we went to the airport for the border machine tour, and they just showed up and like, what are you guys doing here? And they're like, oh, we saw it on social media. And I was like, yeah, see, I have to stop telling you guys because you wouldn't show up.
We went through the airport and they followed us. We honked and they were like, stop honking.
I know, but they did. They had us in a convoy. So we were doing a convoy through the airport, and they led us in that. And I was like, oh, how cool is that? Like, so sometimes they are beneficial. You just never know kind of what that's going to be like. But let's see, there's actually 2 security forces in it. And there was like 4 sheriff cars, or police cars, that had come in, or maybe there for 30 minutes. Could have been a little bit longer, and then left. So it's interesting to, kind of see that. Actually, there's 3 security. And this can be they get very volatile. Anytime there's something nefarious going on, you could just tell, hello, that there's, something that they're trying to hide. Just like the border invasion and stuff, doing the homeless point in time count, finding 50 military aged men behind the fence and going, what's this? And they're like, well, we were counting the homeless today. Yeah, I know. Just talking about why were there 50 military aged men being taken across the street after being behind a fence, lined up, and then put on a white bus. What's that? Oh, nothing to see here. It's like, why can't you just be transparent and be like, yeah, we're helping them. They're going to the airport. This is a transition site. I had to find that all out along. So it's like, that's all they need to do is pretend to hide stuff, and then you just go. They kind of push you.
I'll let you walk up. Yes.
Can't afford on this process, but you got that thing built. Yeah, but you still got to move it. Because I can't have the rest over here at all. Because this is totally confidential.
I mean, we're not trying to go in.
The homeless encampment, yeah. Yeah, the homeless encampment. Because they like to keep the place safe for the rest. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that, yeah,
appreciate what you're saying, but it's for my safety as well.
Okay, well, you need to move along, guys.
Okay.
Well, why snag that time? None of you other guards have time to do. I don't see that time. Let's before they ask. How are you?
And my arms are hurting. Right, we wouldn't go past an authorized personnel sign, you know, because we have common sense, with, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but like, do you guys ever get people coming from the parks over here because they just don't know?
I think that works.
San Diego parking.
Those are predators right there. Serious predators.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like 5 years ago.
So normally, just give you a heads up, they're on a mic, so they're not listening to us. But we would have like the speaker system, and we'd give them a little bit of hell. But the guys who were bringing the speakers today, they didn't follow. And so instead, she's doing a little interview. You know what I mean? And I wasn't expecting today, kind of like how it was, because I didn't know how long the interviews were going to go, and then when they went over and over and over, and I was like, oh shit, this is going to be fucking the whole time, you know? And so, but I just thought I'd give you the rundown of today. Like, I was going to tell you later anyway. But she's got a closing in 1 minute.
You can.
She's on the mic.
So it cancels that one.
Right.
The security guard really started opening up to me. The old guy.
Yeah.
Told me his daughter died. Sitting all over the house.
I heard him.
Yeah. Did you hear the part where I used to do that stuff myself?
Yeah.
Did you hear that part?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was listening.
Well, I mean, I wonder if the got
Yeah.
got caught. Did it get captured?
Yeah.
That mic pretty powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why everybody's got to be careful when there's a hot mic around.
Must be a condenser mic. Is it a condenser?
It's a mic. I don't know.
Mic?
It's just the lavalier, the way I would say it, yeah.
Does it use a battery?
Yes.
Then it's a condenser. 9 volts. Something like that.
Audio. We might have lost it. Alright, we're at 2 minutes of it our color. Alright, Audra. I'm at 3 minutes. I gotta go. And I appreciate you guys. I don't mean to be rude. I hope you guys have a good day. And I think, I can't tell if the audio's with us or with them right now, so we're just going to play it by however it is. But if it is with me and you guys are hearing me, do appreciate all you guys being here and tuning in today. This is staff entrance, authorized personnel. Don't try to enter this gate. Let me put that as a preface, okay? And, you know, we're at the edge of the what was it called? The activity center. And it comes down, there's a couple of like churches, I would say, right? Artistic buildings? I don't know what they're called, but you come past them, and I'm sure tourists come down here accidentally all the time, because this is a Balboa Park, and as you guys can see, it's a very tourist area. So I was checking audio beef as we were talking, and I had a feeling that the Bluetooth dropped out, and I don't see a Bluetooth signal. So it is what it is, you know. But we're going to get Audra back here and do a closing. I got to double check our mics real quick. I don't know. I can't see the lights or anything, you know. That one's off, so we don't have, it's been hot here on me. All these are recording, so I'm just, I'm just going to cut one of them and then take them still, and we're going to do a closing as we're walking back. And
so that was interesting. It wasn't as like volatile as I thought, and I feel like usually when there's one, they get a little bit more aggressive. But she did put on her mask.
Did she get her?
No, this is good. And she said because for that reason. But I mean, at least they were kind of really, and I'm also not alone, so that also helps. Sometimes when you say like, I don't know, they're just not sure. But then he was even asking like, who are you with? But I was like, yeah, they don't like me. I got
San Diego Longano.
But so yeah, it's interesting. But I did still wasn't sure how today was going to go. I was like, you know, are people going to show up? I was really hoping, you know, some participants would show up. And then just other people, and then it kind of was weird because then some people showed up, and I'm like, we're over there talking. You just never know how it's going to go. But I think that it went really well, being able to get firsthand experiences of people that have lived there before, are living there. I mean, and really you just can go around downtown and do that, which I had done before as well. And I still have some video that I need to put together of what happens at night there. In fact, I'd like to go there again in the middle of the night, like from like 9:30 to maybe 12 or something like that, maybe not even that long, but just do a live stream walking around, because before I had just been getting video, I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but I think that that is really important. I'd actually like to have people come, how it was like the border machine where you show people, it's just, it happens to be at odd times, so it couldn't be like during the day like this. So we could go during the day down to Jack in the Box, over by City College, and see them just all over the place, and they're willing to talk, and that's where I've done it before. But I just think it's important for people to see things firsthand. Sometimes, you know, you really have to do that in order to experience what's really going on, because, you know, people can tell you all day long. I could sit here and tell you these things, but I think in order for you to really feel it and understand it, you have to experience it yourself. And, you know, that's why they want to compartmentalize everything, keep people away from it, like hide it, right?
Well,
you can see it from the freeway.
How's anyone supposed to know about it if you don't ask the people who went to it?
Exactly. You know, because they wanted to paint the picture. Right. You know, the government always wants to paint the picture of saying, oh, we're helping these people. We are, look at this. You know, they do their little presentations and they have their data. And it's like, but, you know, when you see something totally in contradiction to that, you're like, that seems like an inverted version of what's really going on. Because, I mean, yes, you guys, and that's why they're so good at it, though, for real. They're good at storytelling and making presentations, right? And having their, like, paperwork and their slides, and it looks so just professional and stuff like that. But it's like, it's their way to bury the truth. Because as soon as you come up with anything that is contradictory to that, and it's like Stephen Whitburn laughing in my face at the death of Tammy Jackson. And I was just like that's fantastic. Because it isn't funny. And, you know, but he was, again, the one that wanted to deny what was going on with the illegal aliens. And it's like, you know, so I'm glad they do that, because it pushes me to figure out what's going on. But, like, this has to stop, you guys. Like, there's so many things that are being exposed in the world around us that are so egregious. So egregious. And we can't just be sitting here idly acting like nothing's going on. Like, let's just keep going about, I gotta go to my work, and I gotta do this and that. That's what they want, is for you to be a slave to the system, so you have no idea where your money is going and what it's actually really being used for. And you're working your ass off to give it to them to do that, so then they can also shut you up so that you stay busy doing that. And I keep bringing it up, it's like with the whole, the red pill and the blue pill. It's like this person took the blue pill because they got to go to work. And it's like, that's what they want you to be like that, so that you don't see outside of the matrix. And it's so important that we do. So I thank you guys for joining us on the stream, and for those of you that came. And, you know, we just have to continue to bring light to all of the darkness, because when the light shines bright, the darkness trembles. And, you know, we have the ability to change the world around us. We just have to be willing to do it, to be willing to step out and take a leap of faith and go, like, I'm going to trust that this is the right thing to do, no matter even if it makes me uncomfortable. We have to get uncomfortable, you guys. Because if we don't, it's going to be even more uncomfortable. And it should make you uncomfortable that this kind of stuff is happening in the world around us, and they're doing such a good job of hiding it. And so anyway, I just thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Robert J. Data, for always, being a great support in this, and I'm so glad that we can work together and bring light to all these stories that are just so important and, break our hearts. So thank you guys for joining us. Join us again. There's always going to be meetings coming up. In fact, on May 7th, we're going to be downtown because there's going to be a hearing regarding Tent City at Greens for Change and Teresa Smith, evidently. And so I'm really looking forward to see what that looks like. Supposedly people are being told that they're going to come some kind of settlement on the spot, which is very interesting, and I'm hoping that they're not lying to people, and if they do, go ahead and give them something, they deserve it. But stay tuned, follow, JData 17, and you can also go to Chula Vista Live Data, or San Diego Live Data. I'm Eye of the Storm, and SD, or just Eye of the Storm, and just stay tuned, because we're always going to continue to bring you the truth and the reality of the world around us. So God bless you guys. I hope everybody has a great rest of your Sabbath, and just stay tuned, because there's always more going on. Stay classy, San Diego. And April 11th, we are also doing our Save the Children March. That's going to be over at Rocco Park and Dadman's Point down by Seaport Village. And then it's also going to be happening across the nation and world, for that matter. So it's great to see so many people getting together to stand up to the kids. I mean,
everybody here.
And everybody that came. And I just want to thank everybody again for watching. But everybody that showed up, all of the people that shared their stories. Oh my gosh, it's such a blessing. It really is, when people are willing to talk, because it's it's when you don't that it just blows away in the wind. And so we have to be that change that we want to see. So please call 619-678-1442 if you guys have any tips, you want to cover something, you just want to share your story. It's a way to get to me too, or JData. And is there anything else?
Share. Get the clips on our website, because we got clips now.
San Diego LiveData.com is the website. You can also email San Diego LiveData at gmail.com. And again, that phone number is 619-678-1442. And just stay tuned again. There's never a dull moment. So God bless you guys. Stay classy, San Diego, and we'll see you again soon.